Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaign, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's good? What's good? This is Black Westchester presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday, 6 to 8, simulcast live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and everywhere else.
Yes. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? What's going on?
I'm good. Oh, I had a great day yesterday. Shout to my brothers, De La Soul. What a great album they have! Incredible album. Yeah, they had a meet and greet. They had a meet and greet yesterday down 47 Howard Street in the village. I went through to support my brothers and brought copies of the album vinyl, just to support for me and B Love, who live in Atlanta, so he couldn't be there. And talked to them and ran into Pete Rock and ran into Renee from Jeanne and a bunch of other people. It was really great. And met a couple of my fans that, I had the sweatshirt on, so they were all like, oh, telling me what the record meant to them and all that, and they were happy to see us out. So it was a great thing. And shout out to Mass Appeal and Nas. Nas is got this label Mass Appeal, and he has this Legend series, and he just released the De La album. He's working on the Nas and Premier album. He released the Ghostface album, the Slick Rick album, a couple of other albums, a Mobb Deep album, and he's just doing it, and it's all in the last 6 months, and everyone has been heat. So he's like, and it's like, the over 50 MCs, you know what I'm saying? Like all the rappers over 50, he dropping bombs. So, you know what I mean? I just want to shout that out. But it was a great event. Shout out to my dudes. It was really great to see them. Hopefully, with any luck, I'll be on the road partially with them, maybe. You know what I mean? So, that's the plan. As many shows as possible in 2026. So,
And I'll be carrying your luggage. Take care. Let me know.
Yeah, so I wanted to shout all that out, but it was great, man. But I tell you, Damon, when I was doing this before, I was 22. This 37 years later, at 59, them events like that, they take a lot out of you. but I remember I'm a working artist again. I got to be at those joints, so I was there, represented. It was good. Yeah.
No, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That is what's up.
Yeah.
We just
and look out for our interview with us with JVC on rockthebells.com, LL's format. We got an interview we did with Jaquan, should be running soon. And
that's dope.
You just keep up with everything going on with JVC. Just follow us on Instagram at JVC or on any of the social media. You'll see everything going on. So should be some great stuff coming up in the next couple of months. So yes, including some new music maybe in the fall or the summer. So you
heard it here.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
That's
Big
shout out to everybody on X that's watching, everybody on YouTube, on Facebook that's watching. Big shout out. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the support that we're giving. And we're gonna have a great show today. Of course, we're gonna be talking about the P. Diddy documentary. We got to talk about that because everybody got views on that, and everybody got views, and we're gonna talk about. Sister's gonna give us some understanding around the holiday season. A lot of people, get depressed around these seasons. Like, we don't really talk about that. A lot of, mental health should be a constant conversation in the Black community. And we're also going to talk about what we really need to start talking about as Black people, the things that, like, we get caught in the cloud, and, there's certain things, and, without becoming a MAGA supporter or Republican, there's policies that we have to look at. And one good policy that's coming out is the Trump accounts for the children accounts. And I think that's great. And we're going to talk about that and the implications, because if Black people don't have these conversations, like I was listening, and I'm not knocking WBLS, right? I was listening to their Sunday morning show, and I got a lot of respect for a lot of them. But if we're having this conversation, doom and gloom for Black people all the goddamn time, and every goddamn Sunday is doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. No group faces doom and gloom spending $1.7 trillion a year.
Facts.
You can't tell me that it is doom and gloom, and we're spending that much money a year with the same people that's supposed to be giving our lives doom and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to the whole show, and I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect. I have no respect for D.L. Hughley. He just needs to put his ass on a comedy, keep his ass on a comedy stage. Enough is enough of this bullshit. But the brothers on BLS, I got a lot of respect for. They even had my big brother Ron Daniels. Got a lot of respect for. But we have to start talking strategy.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start talking strategy. When we get into, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling, and that is like, listen, even in the cities, right? And that is going to be very important for Black people to understand how we put ourselves in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to doom and gloom. So we want to talk about the recent Supreme Court ruling on gerrymandering and districts. We want to have a conversation with that. I think that's very important. And we're gonna talk about the rest of the show is gonna be about P. Diddy and just having fun, and discussing the P. Diddy, but yes, more solution based. Yes, we have to be more solution based. We have to be, So we're gonna start out, man. We're gonna start out with sad, and then my sister's gonna explain. We're gonna get into that because I think a lot of people need to, we that's part of mental health, right? And we out here buying things that we shouldn't have, and you don't understand it till you get to your 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Your 60s, like, man, I shouldn't have bought none of that shit. Why I should have bought none of that, But you don't get it till you get older. And
Damon Miller.
Yeah, I know.
I used to tease that, he had like a a Cadillac truck. He had the other car, and then I was like, "No, you paying 2 mortgages and a rent, like you like, and plus your rent." I was like, "Yo, what you paying for those leases?" I was like, "Yo,
it was crazy, man. Shit was insane, man. You know, but if I die tomorrow, I'll be all right. I ain't gonna regret none of it. But at the end of the day, when you look at what you should done with the money, yeah, it's kind of regretful. But it is. You don't know, right? You know, now you know, and now you got to act on it. So let's go. Let's go.
So listen, we need to talk. Because a lot of you are out here thinking you're just tired, you're moody, just not in the holiday spirit, when really you're carrying a whole emotional backpack called seasonal affective disorder. And Westchester, that thing is heavy. It's not just weather, it's the weight. The weight of grief, of memory, of silence. The weight of watching everybody post their holiday joy while you over here trying to keep it together just enough to function. You aren't broken. You're responding to a season that doesn't feel safe. And I get it. We've been raised to suck it up, to power through. But strength, strength isn't pretending you're good. Strength is saying, I need a light. I need space. I need rest. I need an ear. People deserve softness in December. We deserve warmth. We deserve to be seen, even when we are not performing joy. So stop lying to yourself for the gram. If your soul feels heavy, baby, it's speaking. Listen to it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, sister, explain that. Explain that for us.
So SAD is seasonal affective disorder. It's not the winter blues. It is an actual subtype of depression caused by your brain literally not getting enough light. And listen, we live in New York. The sun be clocked out at 4:45 like it got somewhere better to be. I'm just saying. Less sunlight means your serotonin drops, your melatonin gets confused. Your whole emotional GPS starts saying rerouting, recalculating, just get back in bed. And this hits communities of color in a different way because we all already undiagnosed in mental health across the board. So SAD looks like irritability. It looks like exhaustion. It looks like I don't feel like myself lately. And sometimes that's sad untreated. So, how does it impact everyone? Right? Where does it show up? It shows up everywhere. Your work performance dips, your patience evaporates, kids start struggling in school, your mood is like it's on a roller coaster. And the whole community starts feeling the winter heaviness. And it starts to become cultural, right? Let me just give you some numbers. SAD affects 10 million Americans every year, and another 10 to 20 million have milder symptoms. Women, we get hit the most because we are more susceptible to having low vitamin D levels. So when the sun disappears, our bodies feel it in a different frequency. Symptoms usually start creeping up around fall. They start to peak around January and February. You know what time that is? Right when your New Year's resolutions start falling apart.
Right.
And there's tools that you can use to help you kind of manage SAD, right? As soon as you can name it, you can identify it, you can kind of battle it. And it's light therapy, which is 10,000 lux, right? Or just taking some vitamin D, or even taking a walk outside. All these things add to you managing SAD. There's no shame, there's no stigmas, no pretending you just got to push through. You don't push through. You prepare, you respond, you take care of yourself like your life depends on it, because emotionally, sometimes it does. So, my question for y'all is, have you experienced sad or even saw it or even heard about it before this moment?
No, I never heard about it. The first time I heard it is when we talked about
it. Right. I never heard about it. I guess I've seen the symptoms in a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And I know I was feeling some kind of way around the holidays. Like my mom passed in 2014, and her birthday is the day before Christmas Eve. My sister's birthday the day before New Year's Eve. So from Thanksgiving on was like a really big time for my mom and have the family around. So I guess around that time, the first few years, I kind of felt some kind of way. I don't know if it's mourning or whatever. Like, I just felt some kind of way around the holidays. So, I know, and then, other things wasn't right. So I don't know if it's that or, the mourning thing, but I felt something, definitely. I wanted to shout out something that our brother Tony Old School Mitchell wrote on Facebook earlier. He says some families don't need to exchange gifts for Christmas. They need to settle old disputes, make peace, forgive, seek unity, and heal. That's the real gift.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing I thought of when Damon had said what this segment was going to be about. I had just read that. I was like, I got to share that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I noticed it in work, right? Because during the summertime, when I was working on the evening shift, I didn't want to go into work. I think I was feeling a little sad because everybody was on the block with barbecues don't start till about 2:00. Every summer I have sad. I feel sad. Like, it's not only the winter months. I feel sad during the summer months too. And like I said, it's seasonal affective disorder. And each individual is impacted differently from each season. That's why I had to get off the evening shift during the summer.
Really?
It was messing me up. I was depressed. I was mad. I was like, man, I don't even want to be here.
The evening shift
at work.
Yeah, the evening shift will put a work good because you just going in with everybody having fun. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, the evening shift is rough.
Yeah, I remember plenty of times we'd be out somewhere and Damien was like, yo, I gotta go to work. I don't think I'm going in tonight.
Exactly. After a while, you just don't even worry about it, man. Like you just don't go in. Like the eat like
gone.
That's why I don't understand why some no, I'm not even gonna get into that. Anyway, so I'm not going to get into that tonight.
Last thing I want to say about the holidays, though, and mental health and stuff. Yo, to everybody listening, share this and everything. Check on your elders. Check on your family members. Check on the elders, especially the elders on your block and in your building. Like, you just never know what other people are going through. Again, like I talked about loss, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have experienced, what they feel because of the loss during the holidays. A lot of people just be suffering in silence and nobody knows, you know what I'm saying? And we don't check on our neighbors. We don't check on our family members, our older family members. And I have to do better with that too. I have a couple of aunts and uncles, my dad's brothers and sisters that, I don't check on as much. And I've been trying to do better. Like last month, I know I just went through the list. I had all of them. I just called all of them one at a time and just checked. And I probably hadn't spoken to a couple of them in a couple of years. They would say, hey, everything okay? No, I just called to say I love you and see how you're doing. And my aunt in Connecticut, she was like, oh, man, this made my day. Shoot, I'm about to go play the lotto. So no, but check on your relatives, especially your relatives, but check on the older people in your block. You know what I'm saying? And check on your neighbors. They ain't even got to be older. Check on your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? And your family members, because this time of year, a lot of people are suffering in silence and nobody knows. And there's nothing worse than feeling like you're all alone and don't nobody care. and don't nobody notice. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not at the events and nobody didn't notice you're gone. You're not there or why you're not there. And so that's very important. Check on everybody. You know, just say, hey, you know, check and see. Are you okay? How's your day? You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. How's things going?
Right.
Do that.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we have to. We have to. You got to check on our elders, man. That's very important. That is very important to check on our elders. But yeah, man. So next up, you know, we saving Puffy for last.
Mm-hmm.
We're saving Puffy for last. So let's get into this Trump account because I think that's important. Check it out.
Trump Kids account, officially called Early Childhood Investment Accounts, are a new federal savings program created under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Every child born between 2025 and 2028 will automatically receive a $1,000 investment deposit from the U.S. Treasury.
First, I guess you could say real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18.
The money is placed in a protected account and invested in low-cost stock index funds until the child turns 18. Children born before 2025, but money will receive $250 thanks to a historic $6.25 billion donation from Michael and Susan Dell.
And it's amazing that it happened. And we also saw that this act would become a platform. And, you know, we believe the smartest investment that we can make is an investment in children.
Which expands the program to millions of kids under age 10. There are no income limits, no marital status requirements, and no bank approval needed. As long as the child has a social security number, the account can be opened. The goal is simple. Give the next generation a financial head start, especially in households where saving is difficult. It's a long-term investment in children and an introduction to wealth building at birth.
Now, this
is it the parents' responsibility to open the accounts?
Yes.
The government don't open the accounts. Yes, the government. Because I want to be clear. The people are going to be like, "Oh, the government's going to open an account for me." I don't think that's the case. I think you have.
It's the parents' responsibility to open the account. So, and this is the thing that I get pissed off with mainstream media and a lot of Negro news is that nobody's talking about it. And when nobody's talking about it, Black families, and especially Black women or single mothers, are not going to be able to benefit from it because we're not talking about it because we don't like the messenger. And we're not paying attention to the message. And let me tell you something. Black people will benefit this more because we are having more babies than white people. Period. The numbers is the numbers. The numbers is the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main reasons that there is wealth inequity is because Black people don't get into stocks. We don't have 401ks. So here you are having an account that you could put the maximum of $5,000 in a year for your child to have something when they get 18 to either go to college, start a business, or do whatever. But it puts them in a good position. But we're not even talking about it. Instead of buying, and listen, instead of having that $7,000 baby shower with your baby daddy that you probably ain't gonna get married to, take that $7,000 and put it in the account. Instead of spending $4,000 or $5,000 a year on a birthday party, take that money, put it in the account.
So, children who are U.S. citizens who are born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028 are eligible to have this account. according to the fact sheet from the Department of Treasury, households of any income may open accounts, and all such accounts qualify for a one-time $1,000 contribution from the government. Families with children under 18 may also open an account. They won't receive the $1,000 gift from the government. However, parents, friends, and employers and other parties can contribute tax-free dollars to the account.
Yeah, but they'll get the $250
Right.
from the Dell family. Listen,
Right.
I sent this to my daughter.
Okay, go ahead.
I sent this to my daughter. My granddaughter's 5 years old. She's eligible to get the $250 deposit and have the account open.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to have this conversation. The hell with the messenger. There's a lot of benefits in that tax. When you start listening to these people talking about, oh, the tax bill is for the rich. No, the tax bill is for people that want to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's for people that want to work. All these young people out here doing social media, all that now is all that money you spend, because it's not cheap to do this stuff. Now it's all tax deductible. Now you can claim that on your taxes and get your money back.
So here's the last part of it. Parents or guardians must set up and manage the account until the child turns 18. The Treasury Department says households should use the IRS form 4547 to open up the account on behalf of the child. The newly created form is also where applicants can request the $1,000 U.S. government contribution to the account. The White House says that each account is eligible for eligible children will launch with a $1,000 contribution from the government. 2020 in May 2026, the Treasury Department will send instructions to individuals who applied for the government-funded accounts on how to activate them. Families can open an account beginning in early 2026 and can start making contributions on July 4th, excluding the government's $1,000 donation. A total of $5,000 per year can be deposited, not from the government. That means from friends and families and everybody else. So,
that's what I said.
No. I just said $5,000. I don't want people to think, oh, we get $5,000. No, you can get $1,000, but a total of $5,000 can be deposited in an account each year. Employers,
it's the same as a 401k or a 529.
Employers can contribute up to $2,500 per year to an employee's account tax-free, which will count towards the $5,000 limit. So no family may not. No, can the funds be withdrawn before a child turns 18? No. That's for all you people that got your light bill and everything in your kid's name.
Exactly. No. Listen.
So I want to finish. So let me finish. So
no. Let me say something. Let me explain something. So, and you ain't got to explain nothing to nobody once I say this. This ain't for niggas. This is not for niggas. This is for people. I'm going to make it clear. This is for people that are serious about building generational wealth. It is not for niggas. See, because if you're going to go in that attitude and try to pull money out of it as an adult, then you're stupid. And you don't understand the fundamental thing of wealth building. And that's the thing we have to start talking about in Black people before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
And the hell about the messenger? Black families can really benefit from this. And they're gonna benefit more than white families because we're having more babies.
If they take advantage of it, yes.
Well, I mean, they have to take advantage of it. They have to, but if we're not talking about it, if people like D.L. Hughley and all these other Negroes are using their platforms to talk about racism and fascism and all this other stuff, and not talking about the things that Black families can actually benefit from right now. The 26 is going to go by, AJ, and we're not going to benefit from it. And then we want to say, oh, well, it's a racist program. No, nobody talked about it.
So families may not withdraw the funds before the child turns 18, except for the following reasons: a rollover of the entire account into another brokerage, certain rollovers to achieving a better life experience account in the year the child turns 17, or the distribution when the individual dies. After 18, standard IRA rules for withdrawal apply. So there will be that, that's when you get the tax, like everything else, like your 401 and all that other stuff. I just wanted to put that out there when we talk about stuff like what it is and how it benefits you.
Well, listen, people can go, it's called the TrumpAccount.gov.
So I have a question. So I know the 529 plans, they have restrictions on what you can spend the money on. So are there any restrictions once the child becomes 18?
It didn't say that. It's just that the standard IRA, the withdrawal, they can be taxed.
You get taxed.
You either got to put it into, you got to roll it over like you do with your pensions or your 401 and all that stuff. You got to roll it over, or I guess you're going to be taxed at whatever you're going to be taxed at if you try to withdraw it or whatever. So, but this is good because see, rich people do this for their kids. The Kennedys, when they were born, John F. Kennedy, all the Kennedy kids, they when they were born with $1 million in their account, just that they couldn't touch till they were 21. You know what I'm saying? So you imagine what $1 million times 21 years of interest is. And that's what all the, of course that was the Kennedys, but I'm just saying that was what people with money do. And maybe this will be an equalizer for other kids too. Because if you're doing X amount per year, I don't know the numbers and the interest and all that. You're doing X amount per year and it can't be touched to at least 18. 18 years of that with interest and all that can't be touched. A lot of times our kids, Black kids, our kids, when they turn 18, like a lot of other kids, they ended up getting stuff, generational wealth. They end up getting, property and things that they get when they start at a higher level. We're not on even ground. You know what I'm saying? We just turned 18. They turned 18 with assets or 21 with assets. Hopefully this will work as it's supposed to work. And some of us will take advantage of it. And our kids, when they become 18 or 21 or whatever it is, and, they have good, they have some assets or they have something to start on. And, I'm going to look more into it. I think the 529 plan, I was starting to look that up when you said that. I think that is specifically for spending money like on college and stuff, right? Like you can't spend it.
You can buy a car, you could pay for an apartment. It's different like ways you can spend the money, but it has to be connected to schooling.
Right.
It's built to college. But there's not the limitations that this has as far as what you can spend it on, I think.
Right. This is, we have to, and the crazy thing about it is, let's say a church, they had 4 members that had children in 2026. Right? Now they could do fundraisers for the kids to deposit it in an account. Like all new trials, they get to deposit in an account. This is how you build wealth. This is how the Jews do it. This is how the Asians do it. Right? This is how they do it.
Give people savings bonds for their kids when they were. That's what she would give them as a gift, like a savings bond.
That was right. Right, that was the thing to do. But what I'm saying is specifically for this. We have to begin to think out of the box. Absolutely. And start building wealth.
Well, every
the
summer,
reason I mentioned what my mother used to do. Go ahead.
I was going to say, every summer I kind of encourage my youngest daughter to look for something that she wants to create a event or anything to raise money for. So I know that people who are financial, intelligent, and they move different ways with their children, this is one of the principles that they place with their kids, for them to be the solutionist, for them to look around and say, man, there's a problem with that. How can I solve it? Right. So every summer, it's one of my delights. You could be on video games all summer. You're going to have to pick one thing that you want to do. And we're going to save some money for this. And we're going to raise some money for this. We're going to get the people that you are impacting daily to support you in this mission. And if you talk to my 11-year-old, she sounds like she's about 15. Like it gave her a different lens. So now when she's in different spaces, she's speaking from a compassionate lens rather than this is just the circumstances I'm in lens. I don't know if y'all do that too. I mean,
and we need to think about that. And talking to our adults, our young adults, we're talking about children. We need to be thinking about our future. Like one of the things that wasn't covered a lot in the press. Allen Iverson had his money. I don't know if he did. People did it because they were smart enough to tell him to do it. What is that, Damon? I'm hearing something. What are you doing?
No, I stopped it. Go
okay.
ahead.
So he had $32 million put into a trust that he couldn't touch till he turned 55, which is in 2030. So no matter what he did and how he was spending money, that brother as an athlete has $32 million waiting for him at 2030. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of our athletes, and I brought that up also because a lot of our athletes, do these spending sprees and they end up broke and they end up, they buying big houses and big cars and all this other stuff and stuff that depreciate. We have to, as adults, young adults, we have to teach our kids the young adults to defer money and put money, away like that. And this was something he can't touch. So no matter what happened to him, you know what I'm saying? He has $32 million. He also has somehow he inked a landmark lifetime deal with Reebok. Regardless of what happened, he gets $800,000 annually from Reebok for the rest of his life. Allen Iverson.
Oh no, that's good.
800,000. Whether he sells one sneaker or does one commercial because of his value or whatever, but this was put into his contract.
Yeah, but that's an athlete. That's an athlete.
No. But what I was talking about, listen to what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
It's $60,000 a year.
Can I talk, man?
Yeah. I'm letting you talk.
There's a point to that. When we have things that come to us and we get money, we spend our money.
Right.
On every level. And we need to do things like that. And of course, it would be on a smaller level, but this is an example of what we need to do so we're taken care of when we're older. And as a people, typically we don't do this. We run through our money, and sometimes we're cash poor, like we talked about somebody else, Damon. We're cash poor. We look like we got a lot of assets, but we're cash poor. You know what I'm saying? And we don't do these things as a people. And we look up to these, and the people you talk about that don't make money, look up to these people who do get this money and want to spend money like they do, even though they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So I was showing you a situation where this person had good representation, because I'm sure Allen Iverson did not think it was on his own. He had good representation. No, seriously, that's my dude.
No.
Coming from where he's from, coming from where he was coming from, and had a young mother, he didn't come up with this on his own. But and most managers are not people that manage you. They try to make money off of you. They're not thinking about your future like that. So that's
you got to have people in your corner, right? And you got to have people. You have to have people that understand it. But at the end of the day, you know, my whole thing is this is, you know, and maybe next year we're gonna start it here with somebody. We're gonna find somebody, and what we're gonna do is we're all gonna open up one of these little stock apps, and we're gonna put money in it, and we're not gonna touch it, and we're gonna rock out for the whole for 2026, and it'll be proof that you could do it. $20 a day, $20 a week. Put it in stocks, you know, and let it grow. There's only three ways you're going to get rich: stock market, real estate, entrepreneurship. That's it. You're not going to get rich working for nobody. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless the husband, both partners are working. One of the partners is paying all the bills, paying all the expenses, and the other partner is putting their money up, but you're still going to put it in stocks, right? You're not going to do it like a savings account. Savings account is not going to make you rich. You're going to have to invest it into stocks and bonds.
And most people don't have. There's a whole lot of people don't even have a savings account.
Facts.
Well, I know they don't make you rich, but they don't even have savings.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people now there's a new thing trending called job hugging. So the prior years they were saying that individuals, millennials specifically, they weren't staying in jobs long. They would stay jobs, get skills, and then elevate to a higher paying job. But now the financial climate and the shifts in the government and what's going on, they did a survey in March of 2025, and they found that people are hugging their jobs now. They're staying there because they're scared of jumping to a new position. And you know what they say, last in, first out. What they call that? What's it called? What's last in, first out?
No, first guy. No.
What's it called?
I don't know.
What it's called, but when they
I
start
got me a union job. I wasn't trying to hear none of that.
But I noticed it. Like my job, right? We have waves. People go out in the wintertime. People come back in the summertime. Everybody been in there working. I've been seeing a lot of fake folks I ain't seeing you. It's like,
people, look, you got to make paper. You have to figure it out, and you have to work it out. And the only reason I ain't found another job because I'm waiting on my damn Social Security and disability. If they take too long, I'm gonna go someplace else. That's the only reason I'm sitting around, man. I'm like, shit, what is y'all taking so long? They shut down the government. You know, my lawyer was like, yo, you know, I'm like, Jesus Christ, they done shut the government down. That means my case is gonna take even longer, right? So my lawyer was like, my lawyer called me. He's like, oh well, you know, we talked to him. Hopefully around June, and then I'm waiting on the state. Look, sooner or later, I'm gonna like, you know what? Middle finger to everybody. I'm going back out in the world because I just can't sit around waiting on y'all fools to take too much time. I mean, look, I'm good, but I like to be better, you know. And if I'm sitting around waiting on that, I don't have time for that. So the whole thing is this: we have to figure out ways to create streams of income. You have to have different streams of income. And it seems what I don't like about today's media, we're not talking about that enough. You know, we're not having these type of discussions.
Well, a lot of us don't even realize that we are asset millionaires because we can't even articulate our personal assets.
Right. So Lanez is LIFO. That's the technical phrase.
Okay.
For last in, first out. That's LIFO.
How you say LIFO? LIFO?
I guess like LIFO. But that is the technical. I looked at that.
LIFO?
LIFO. Last in.
LIFO?
Yeah.
No,
it's a common layoff principle where the newest employees let go first. based on seniority. Yeah.
Well, listen, we gotta make jobs for ourselves. Let's go on to the next one. What time we got? Yeah. Let's go on to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
Shout out to David Gladman.
The debate over the Supreme Court's redistricting ruling is missing a basic point of logic. The court didn't create the political reality we're living in. It's not the Supreme Court's job or fault that over 90% of black voters choose to concentrate in one political party. When a group becomes that politically predictable, it becomes mathematically simple for mapmakers to pack, split, or minimize that vote under the label of partisanship, not race. And here's the key. The court has long said partisan gerrymandering is legal, but racial gerrymandering is not. So when states redraw maps and say their goal is to help their party not target black voters, the court accepts that explanation. Why? Because our own political behavior makes the two look identical on a spreadsheet. If 90% of any group votes the same way, any partisan move will automatically hit that group hardest. Without any court needing to mention race, that is the logic of the ruling. The court didn't put black voters in one party. The court didn't make our vote predictable. The court didn't strip us of political leverage. Our political strategy did. And until we diversify our political footprint and force both parties to compete for our interests, partisan gerrymandering will continue to weaken black representation while remaining perfectly constitutional.
So the Supreme Court ruled on the Texas. So now the Republicans gained 5 seats. So what we're saying was illegal is now legal because it's partisan, has nothing to do with race. Nobody forces black people to be in one party. And I say it again. We was just talking about finances. What do? You never keep all your money in one account. So why would you keep all your voting power in one party? It doesn't. There's no logical sense in it. There's no logical sense in it. And now the Supreme Court ruled. And then the next thing is going to come down the line is the Voting Rights Act. The next going to come down the line is the 14th Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we as black people, we have to have these discussions. Now, we can call it racism all we want, but they're not ruling on the basis of race. And they're absolutely correct because we choose to be in one party. We choose to be in one party.
Well, this is why, civic engagement matters, not just for presidential elections, every elections. We should be showing up to, redistricting hearings, knowing how the census affects us in every district, especially yours, and vote in the random Tuesday elections nobody's talking about. Because if we don't claim our power, somebody else gladly will take it.
Now,
last
AJ,
time we had redistricting hearings in Westchester, when the Dems tried to gerrymander and got caught, and then they had the redistricting hearings. We went, and Dr. Bob and I went, and there for the 16th district, I think. I don't think it was just for 16th district, but anyway, the bottom line is, if there were 200 people in the room, black people were like chocolate chips, like in like one there. I can't say that we was 3% of that room. Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like white people came and they claimed and the people they complained. That had a lot to do with 16th district because it was talking about the Bronx and putting the Bronx with other places and this, that, and the other. And those people were like, yo, they didn't want this and they didn't want that and they didn't want that. And you had a few people, the former president of the Yonkers NAACP, and one or two other people that you see out there, me and Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob gave this whole thing about, what it was. With all kinds of data and everything, but there wasn't enough of us there. And this thing, it wasn't even like People didn't know about it. We, Black Westchester, found out about it, and we wrote a series on it and promoted it and told people that they need to get here and they need to make their voices heard. And a lot of us weren't there. And that was one of several redistricting. And I heard a lot of the other redistricting hearings were the same. I went to one or two of them, but there was like everything else. We weren't present in the thing. Then we complained about the results. Now, they were going to do what they were going to do, but we didn't even go to make our voices heard. You understand?
The problem, I was going to say, the problem is that civil engagement is not on our frequency.
Right.
It's not. We are, a lot of people are just surviving out here.
Right. And absolutely. Right. Absolutely.
So if you don't talk to me about how civil engagement can help me right now,
absolutely.
Yes, it's important, but it's not on the top of my list.
Absolutely.
So how do we get people to say?
Before I did Black Westchester, it wasn't on my list. I learned this stuff from doing Black Westchester these last 11 years or so. Before that, I didn't know nothing about no civic engagement. I wasn't trying to go to all that. I was trying to make my money. I was trying to survive. I was trying to raise my family. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I wasn't even voting in a lot of the elections, to be honest. I didn't know about a school board election.
I just started voting.
I didn't know what an assemblyman was. I didn't know none of that stuff. Yo, real talk. And I was that. Yes. But it's I like that the play Hamilton. There's that part of the room where it happens. Mm-hmm. And the room where it happens is not just us only having elected officials in that room, but being in these rooms when they have these hearings. You understand what I'm saying? And let me be honest, I know a lot of things are streaming now, but there's something for being in the room. And because you're hearing everything, not just what's there and not just what the camera's showing you, and you're hearing everything, you're seeing the people, and you can see when somebody giving you some bullshit, and you know what I'm saying, and trying to package it for something. You can see a lot of that. You have to be in those rooms, and on a local level, me and Damon, we've had these conversations. You don't like how your school is run, you don't go to school board meetings, but you complain. You don't like how your city is run, you don't go to city council meetings or those board of estimate meetings. You don't go to any of those. Me and Damon we were talking about the county legislative meeting. That is so low attended. You bring 20 people, you the majority of the room. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, because we've literally gone and had 5 and 10 people with us, and we made a big difference on whatever the topic is, what we were talking about. But you have to do it. Politics is a participatory sport. We have to stop voting and then going to sleep for 4 years and then voting. Like, you have to hold them accountable. You have to put your 2 cents in. We come out, and when we do come out, it's not about screaming and yelling at people and elected officials. Everybody wants to be heard, but people do not come to hear. And that's the problem. Sometimes you need to listen to what they're telling you and just stop yelling at them. And you're more informed on, you know what I'm saying, how you should move. But we don't even get them to let them talk. We yell and scream and curse them out and talk about all, and we don't even let them talk. So we have to be more involved. You need to cast. Shout out to Mike Hannon. He said you all need to cast from Pittsburgh and spread that knowledge.
Yo, Mike, you need to find us a platform in Pittsburgh to send it right out there. Because now you're a Pennsylvania. Now you're a new Pennsylvania resident, man. You need to find us a platform that we could send that knowledge to, my brother.
And it's not just, like I said, we're Black Westchester, so we're talking here in Westchester, but this is around the country. This is not just here. This is not just the city of Mount Vernon or the city of Yonkers. This is everywhere that we are. We are not engaged. When I went to a city council meeting, David, I remember back in the days, that's when I first met a lot of the white people from the Fleetwood side of things. There was an issue, and I don't know what the city council wanted to pass, but Fleetwood was not going for it. They had 30, 40 people. They came in with the same T-shirt on. They came up holding signs. No, you're not voting for this. Like They came and they showed the unity that they did was incredible, and they were not going to let this pass.
Mm.
The only other time I seen something like that was in Yonkers when the city council was going to vote on extending the term limits, and they wasn't putting it up for a vote. Oh, people came up, they had their signs, let the people vote, let the people. It got violent in there too. It was just like, but people showed up though. And Spanner was smart. He gave the police and the fire the contracts they wanted, so they was in there talking about 4 more years, 4. but I saw that firsthand. Them people were engaged, and there was a lot more of us engaged. I was surprised, but people were engaged, and we need to do that more on all levels. Or
well, there's power in numbers. The numbers is the power.
Yeah.
I wanted to respond to David Gladman. He's talking about Democrats keeping the pace. Here's the problem with that. Blue states are losing population very fast. They're continuing to lose population. By the next census, the Southern Republican states are going to gain more seats. That's how it works. I've been saying this for over a decade now. Soon the Democratic Party will be non-involvement in governmental elections because that's the way it works. And if the blue states keep high taxes, right? They keep high regulations. Younger people are going to continue to move to the South, where it's cheaper and the cheaper living. And it's about numbers, ain't about feelings. It's just about numbers. And then the Democratic Party is going to be non-existent as far as government, because that's the numbers. Now that you have this ruling, all the states are going to do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you know what else? So it's that whole thing about the diehard loyalty to the Democrats. When in 72, my family moved and got a house in Central Ice in Long Island. Suffolk County, that area of Long Island, was heavily Republican. Now the black people had some power. There is a black community. My mom's in the civic association and all that and everything. But what they were telling all of the people when they moved in was to switch their party to Republican. Why? Because the Republicans ran that party, and the only way they can have a say is in voting in the like here. We got the Democrats run. If you win the Democratic primary, you kind of win the election. There in 72, if you won the Republican primary, you pretty much won the election. There was no Democrats really running. So as a block of people, it was like 50 homeowners, black homeowners. They all changed to the Republican Party, and they all voted as a block for their interests. And they had a say in the people who were being vote so they could vote in the primary and everything. So what I say about that is, the whole loyalty to a party thing is we have to put community over party. And AIPAC showed us that when they did that with Jamal Bowman. That was their key, community over party. And they had a lot of their thousands and thousands of their Republicans switch their vote to the Democratic Party, switch the party to the Democratic Party in time to vote against Jamal in the Democratic primary because it was against their interests. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? We complain, but we don't learn. We don't learn that, though. We don't learn from that and move that way, though.
Right. People that are moving south is about policy. It's strictly about.
But policy. If you want to, when you move there, you're not moving there as a Democrat. You're gonna to be involved in those things. You're gonna have to switch your party to be able to vote in those.
But you're not moving there to change. See, there's it's a difference. People are thinking they're moving down there to turn it blue. Absolutely not. Because the blue, they're leaving blue. The reason why they're moving is because of blue policies. They're going down there.
That's not what I'm saying. Right.
No.
What I'm saying is, you still, if you're moving in a place and it's a red state, you're not going to have you're not going to, as a Democrat, you're not going to be able to vote in primaries. You're going to have to be a Republican to vote in the primaries on who your local.
I live in a red county. I could care less, bro. My taxes are low. My streets are getting paved. When it snows, they move the snow out.
You switch your political party so you can vote in the local elections.
No, I didn't, dude. I didn't switch I vote wherever I want. When you go in the booth, you vote what you want to vote for. It don't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter when you go. Okay, when you go in the booth.
Listen. What you're saying is true, but right. What you're saying is true, but you missed what I just said. You don't have like we're here where it's a Democratic stronghold. Wait, let me finish so I'm clear and the people understand. Here where's a Democratic stronghold. If you're not a Democrat, when the Democrats put up their primary or who they're running and all the candidates for your mayor, for all these positions, you can't vote because you're not a Democrat. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have say. Wait, I got you. But listen, this civics. You don't have say in who goes forth and runs in the general election. You can't vote for a candidate until so listen. That's what, but that's what I was talking about. You went somewhere else. This is the point I was making. That's what I'm saying. You went somewhere else. This is the point I'm making.
My point,
you have to the party that's
conversation about the party that is, and what the person said.
I was making a point. You just changed. You changed what I was saying.
AJ, we were talking about moving from blue states to red states. The conversation was. The conversation was about blue state. I get what you're saying, but I was also
I was talking about loyalty to a party. Go into what you're saying, loyalty to a party and community over party. That's what I was talking about. Because you were talking about. So that's where I was elaborating on after you said that. You went somewhere else. That I wasn't talking about.
I didn't go into.
So both of you are talking about aligned things, right?
Exactly.
So what Damon is stating is that you're moving because of the policies, the red policies. That's why you're moving down there. And AJ is stating if you do move as a Democrat in these policies, that you can't really vote who they choose to run in the primary. You don't have no stake in that.
Right.
Well, listen.
And so you have a say. And so you have a say. Like I used the example of my mom. So you have a say. You have to switch to the party. But too many of us are diehard loyal to the Democrats, and it we just diehard and we lose.
Well, actually,
you know what I'm saying?
No, but technically you don't, because the majority, on a national level, the majority are independents. They're not beyond to any party.
Yeah, but your local politics.
Whatever the policy that the Democrats and the Republicans are promoting, the independents go with the policies. That's why Trump won, because with the policies that he was pushing, that the independents went with the policies. He won every swing state.
I got you. I'm not arguing. I agree.
Right. So my point, I'm going back to the policy. When people move, they're not moving there because they want to switch. They want to change the party. Like I want to turn, the whole thing they were talking about, turn Texas purple, or we're going to turn Texas blue. But that's what. But I know that's not what you're talking about.
I'm talking about having a say. If you want to have a say where you live, that's what you have to do. That's all I've said.
Dude, you have a say when you vote. Whatever you vote, right? Because independents don't vote in either primaries.
Okay,
right. But then they're comfortable with not actually impacting the candidates that are getting chosen.
Your local, all politics.
But you make it and unless you're a primary Democratic city like Mount Vernon, right? It just, if you're an independent or a Republican, you're just out of the goddamn loop.
That's what I said.
Right.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Right, but I'm talking national. You're talking local.
But
I'm talking about a national level.
You change things locally. Local politics, and you've said it, has more to do with your day to day
No,
than what happens nationally.
I get that.
So if you're
But
moving to, but listen, I used the example. My parents moved to a different place where the politics was different, and so those black people could have a say in who was elected and who was put up and voting on the resolutions, making ballots and all that little stuff before we get to a general election. They had to switch. And when you go to those cities, if you want to have a say, that's what you have to do. That's what I said. You start talking about changing things and all that. I wasn't talking about none of that. Yeah.
If you move to the cities and you move to those cities and states because of the policies that they have, then you're going to go with the people that create the policies. Right? Because your interests, you move there because of your interests.
I got
That's
you.
why you moved it.
And you have to switch so you can have say.
You don't have to switch.
Okay, so you have no say. Go ahead. No.
Wait a minute.
So you move and you have no say.
No. Listen, in the 90s, I've been a Republican in the 90s because it was cool to be a Republican in the 90s. Right? It was cool back then to be a Republican. And I've been a Democrat. I've been an independent. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you go in there when on election day and vote for, because you can vote for whoever you want. You can say you're a Democrat. I've known people that put up videos, was a registered Democrat, and went in there and voted for Trump.
We're going back and forth. Because
What I'm saying.
I'm going to say this and I'm going to end it. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this and end it. You're voting for whoever the two parties put up, but you have if there was 4 candidates and one of those candidates you thought would be the better person to go to the general election, you can't vote for that person. You can only vote for who the party votes as their candidate in the general election. So you don't have say on what goes on up to that point. I'm quoting what you said years ago and what you tell people.
But you're missing a point.
No,
you're missing a big point.
I'm not arguing with you as always.
No,
AJ. I agree with you, but you can't.
So I want to say that
I'm done.
Why, Damon, in your argument, why do you think it's acceptable for people to change states for policy and not want to impact the local elections, not want to impact the individuals that are running? That's my question to you.
Good question.
Because you're losing money.
No, but why are you comfortable being in a space where your say, your vote, your lens is not impacted locally? That's my question to you.
But if you're moving there for policy, if you're moving there because of policy, no. It is in your interest. See, what AJ didn't say, right? Even if you get to the point where you're in a party, you don't even pick the candidate that they give you. So the voting process, and you know this, AJ, the party picks the candidate. Hold on. Wait. You open the door. The party picks the candidate. You don't pick that candidate.
So there's not several different candidates to run?
Thank you. So
Wait, because I'm learning.
Let me answer the question.
So we're gonna open up a can of worms. We're gonna open up a can of worms on this.
And I'm done after this. But listen.
No. You open up a can of worms.
No, because you're going other places. And
I'm going where you. I got your point. I'm
done, Damon, because you do this all the time. I'm done. You do this all the time. It had to do about being involved in your local politics. You want to talk about everything else. Yes, the Democratic Party proved, they say, this is our candidate that we want to run in the primary. Yes, but 4 other people run against that, and the voters in the Democratic Party can choose who they want to vote for that person. Just because you've been picked
How
up.
did that candidate get
Let me
there?
finish the
No,
question.
no.
Let me,
How did that
Damon, let me
candidate?
talk.
How did that
Let me
candidate
talk.
get there?
Damon, let me talk.
How did that
Finally,
candidate get there?
all you want to do is overtalk. You don't never
No,
want to have a
that's your
conversation.
question. How did the
Right.
candidate get there?
Let me answer. Dude, can someone else
Okay.
talk other than you? Or
just asked you a
I'm done
question.
with this. I'm done with this for today.
I'm just asking you a question.
Damon, let me finish a point. You overtalk everyone. You don't let no one talk.
I let you talk the whole thing.
Okay.
I let you talk. How did
So
the candidate
the answer to your question, here's the answer to your question. And since we've been doing Black Westchester, the Democrat, let's take the city of Mount Vernon. The Democratic Party chose the candidate who was currently in office as their endorsed candidate. And that fucking candidate lost in every one of the elections because the people voted for someone else other than the Democratic endorsed candidate. So they did have a choice there.
Mm-hmm.
So that says everything you just said. All I said, I didn't disagree with 2 things. You move in a world where 2 things can't be right. 2 things can be right. What you're saying is true. And what Lanez picked up on what I'm saying is there is a lot of things that happen before a general election. When the general election comes, you have 2 candidates. The people that in the Republican primary have collectively voted the most votes for represent the Republican Party. The person in the Democratic Party who most Democrats vote for represents the Democratic Party. But if there's 4 or 5 candidates in the Democratic Party, whatever the primary is, whoever's the people that's in power, there's 4 or 5 candidates, and you think that the candidate who wins, who won, wasn't the best candidate, you couldn't vote against him because you are not you can't vote in that primary. And you have to be part of the party in power to vote in that primary. There are a lot more things that go on, like resolutions and whether things make the ballot and all those things you can't vote for if you are not part of the party. You move to the city, like you said. Yeah, I have some. You move to the city, like you said. See, I got jokes. You move to the city, like you said, because you like the stuff there, but you switch because you want to have a say. Both things are true. You saying, "Oh, I don't care because I moved there because I like the thing." That is what you said. That is what you said.
Oh, shit. All right.
And then let's ask you the question. You move to a city, you move to a place, and you don't care about being part of the solution, and you never answered the question. You started talking about all this other stuff.
Because it's about interest. It's all about interest. It doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, Independent. What did Reggie say? It's not about friends or enemies.
I'm
it's
done
all
because
about
you're doing the same thing you always do.
You're not
answering the question.
I'm answering the question. You move because of your interest. If you like those policies, why are you changing them?
Nobody said changing. But see, no one said changing.
No
one ever said, whoa.
If you are an independent, you're only voting in the November election.
So I have a question. As
an independent.
Let's say I moved to a red state for the policies, right? For the policies, but I still want to be a Democrat.
Right.
So in order for me to vote, I have to bring a mob of people to that red state with me to be Democrats? Or do I have to change over? Because and maybe I'm confused. Once the policies are created in a certain state, right? This is just my question. Once the policies are created in a certain state, if it's a red state, right?
Are you moving there to change? Are you moving there to change the state party?
I'm moving there because
Here's the answer to his question. Westchester is heavily Democrat. Republicans who wanted to win, Mike Spano, Janet DeFiore, and all of them ran as Democrats so they could win an election. Because they couldn't win. I said so they had to what I say,
But you're
if the Democrats
talking
to impact the situation,
talking a voter.
they still have to be part of the party.
Listen.
You still have to be part of the party to have a say.
You vote your interests, period. Whatever your personal interest is.
And
You
if
voted.
you don't agree with something, you can't do nothing.
Listen, you got
Nobody
two
votes.
candidates.
Nobody.
Dude, you got at the end of the day, you got two candidates. Right? November election, you got two candidates. If you're an independent, if you're a Democrat, and you go down there, and if you like the Democratic candidate, then goddamn it, you vote Democratic candidate. If you like the Republican candidate, what he say, then you say, you know what? I'm going to vote Republican. That's your interest. You just said, AJ, you put community before party. Then you put yourself before the party. What is your interest? What is your agenda? What type of life do you want to have? That's what you vote for. No matter if it's Republican, Democrat, independent, liberal, whatever the hell libertarian, whatever the hell they want to call it. It's your interest. Period.
And as your interest, you switch your party to the party.
You don't have to switch parties.
Okay.
You don't.
That's
listen. If half of the people are independents, what do? If most of the elections are dependent on independents, what do? You tell me. Locally, in Westchester. I'm not talking locally.
I'm answering a question. Can I answer the damn question the way I want to answer it? Damn.
I'm
Listen,
talking nationally.
Because politics are low. You don't change shit nationally. You change shit locally. You keep saying that to everybody.
AJ,
I'm done.
The
I'm
main
done
thing I was talking about was moving because of the state policy.
Damon, you're right, like always. Next subject. Let's go. No, I'm done. Or I'm leaving. You're right.
I said state policies. I've been talking about state policies. You're talking local.
You're talking national. See, you can't switch. State is local. State is local. You can't vote in state elections.
Local is Mount Vernon. State policies is another level.
You were talking national. You're arguing national with independent.
No, when I was
now
saying
you're talking
people
state.
were moving, when people were moving, they were moving because of the state policies.
Right.
You can't change.
So David is saying,
take away property taxes.
Move to a Republican area because you like what they're doing. You move out of the city. Don't change the party. Don't change the party. Just vote. Just move there.
You change your interest. You vote for your interest. Fuck all this party shit. That's why we are fucked up now. That's exactly why we are fucked up now. Because we're worried about goddamn parties.
I'm not worried about
it. Let's get to the Diddy. I got theories. That's why we're fucked up now. Dude, we gotta focus on interests. What of our interests? Black people don't even have an agenda. We don't even know what the fuck our interests are. Because we let these parties tell us what the fuck our interests are. What is the black interest? What is our interest? Mm-hmm. I have yet to heard anybody tell us outside of Dr. Claude Anderson or Amos Wilson or Minister Farrakhan. Have none of these Negroes, educated Negroes, be all over TV tell us what our interests are. Worried about goddamn parties. Look at our communities. What the hell has a party done for our communities?
So, Lenez, me being quiet doesn't stop the conversation. That's what I'm like. See,
no, well, I'm talking to the people. I'm just not talking to you. I'm just not having a conversation. We're having a conversation with people that are watching.
We're not having a conversation. You're talking over everybody, and if they don't agree with you, you're talking over. We're not having a conversation. I don't know what you know the definition of a conversation. What we were doing is not having a conversation. What you were doing was not having a conversation.
You never put me on my goddamn rant. Because at the end of the day,
put you on your rant. I don't say Damon. I don't say Damon. I don't say Damon go rant. I don't say Damon. I don't say Damon go rant. You just said
because we sitting here discussing parties, bro.
Negro. here's the bottom line. I have my own mind and I have my own opinion. Let me say what I'm saying. If any point my opinion is not Damon's opinion, he talks over me and tells me I don't know what I'm talking about.
I never said you didn't know what you're talking about.
You just said that all through the last half an hour. I didn't know what I was talking about.
With you, but I said that's not what the conversation started as.
Well, it's all connected though.
Thank you.
It is all connected.
And two things can be true at the same time. I didn't disagree with any of you said. I added something to it. And you debated and then you debated that.
Locally, yes. But the key to the Supreme Court ruling.
You just said locally, yes.
The key
two things can be true.
Locally, yes.
No, you just said that for the first time.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you just said it don't matter what I'm saying. But listen, so I'm ending on the fact that he agrees with me locally, and we gonna move on. I agree with you nationally.
Listen. James Furman just said it. You vote what benefits you, Republican or Democrat, period. Because at the end of the day, it's what your interests are.
So here, last example.
It's what your interests are.
We're talking locally, any Republican and independent who did not think the Democratic endorsed candidate was the candidate that was best for the office, and they thought another candidate, let's just say Andre Wallace, was a better candidate, they couldn't vote in the Democratic primary. So all they could vote for out of the four candidates that were put forward was the one who won, who the Democrats said, this is the person we want to support. You might not have thought, listen, we thought that Lisa Eve was the better candidate in the AG's race. You know what I'm saying? But if you weren't a Democrat, you couldn't vote. I was an independent, and at the time you was an independent, so we couldn't vote for Lisa Eve if we wanted to. We had no say in who we thought was the better candidate for AG for New York State, because so Tish James won. But we both agreed that Lisa Eve was the better candidate, had better qualifications, and had the answers that meant most to us. But we had no say in New York State's AG Democratic primaries. So only thing we could do in November, we either vote for Tish or we don't vote for Tish, or we vote for the other candidate. But Lisa Eve we thought would be best, but we couldn't support her.
What does the Working Families Party do?
The Working Family Party picks a Democrat that they support, not necessarily the Democratic endorsed candidate. They pick a Democrat in the primary that they agree with. Most of the time, their candidate isn't the party, the Democratic endorsed candidate. And other races, they stay the fuck out of, because in this last election, they only voted for one person in Westchester. They only endorsed one person, Corazon Pineda. They stayed out of every other race in Westchester.
Wait a minute. So you are a part of the process, even though you're not a Democrat.
How?
What does the Working Families Party do? They pick a Democratic candidate in the primary, and they support them.
So
and they put money behind them.
Right. But Damon, there's no independent party in Westchester. So what did you do?
No. I didn't. I said the Working Families Party.
But we were talking about, what if you're independent? There's no independent party.
Well, there's still a third party. No. Wait. There's still a third party.
Right.
See, they're not in the Democratic Party.
Right.
They're not registered Democrats.
And unlike every other party, the Working Family Party, you don't have to switch your party. You can be a Democrat, and you can be you can buy membership into the. You can sit in. Whoa! Listen, no, it's a big difference.
No, what's the difference?
You can't. Republican. Can I finish? Can I finish?
Okay.
A Republican Party, I can't sit in on the interviews to find out who the Republicans should pick. As a Democrat or independent, you can be a part of the Working Family Party without leaving your party, and you can sit in on the interviews and have your say in the candidate they choose to endorse. They are different than anybody else, because you can't do that in no other party. Independents don't let Independents don't let Democrats and Republicans sit in on
then that's not a political party. Technically, it ain't a political party.
You brought them up. I said
no. I didn't know all that. But that's not a political party.
I don't know how you didn't when they came on our show. Wait. When they came on our show and explained it. I don't know how you don't know.
I must have missed that one because I would have questioned
you was on the show.
No, I didn't. Listen, let me tell you something. I didn't hear that shit. I've been a part of the Independence Party, and I'm like, yo, that shit is weird. And I'm saying it now for anybody Working Families Party that's listening. That's not a party. That's a pack. That's a fucking pack. That's a pack. You don't listen. I'm not arguing.
My example wasn't about it. My example wasn't independent working party. My example was the AG race was the example. That was the example.
There is some political loophole bullshit.
Okay, right, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I didn't bring their name up. I was talking about independence in the AG race.
No, because I asked you, as you know,
I can pay my dues. I can pay my dues for the Working Family Party. Keep my other party affiliation, and I can pay.
But listen. That's how you.
I didn't say I agree or disagree. I didn't say I disagree. I'm just saying
we're just having a conversation. That's how you hijack. That's how the Democratic Party is in the position that they are in now. Right? That's how we got here. I'm glad you said that because we wonder how the hell the Democrat got so left. No wonder they got so left.
Mm-hmm. No, wait. The Working Family Party can't influence the Democratic Party. The Democrats can influence who the Working Family Party picks as their endorsed candidate. As a Democrat, if you pay your dues to the Working Family Party, you can sit in on the interviews of all the people going for it, and you have a vote on who
AJ,
you can.
If you pay dues to the Working Families Party and you're a Democrat, what stops you? Then your loyalty is to the Working Families Party. You don't pay dues to be a Democrat. It's free. Your loyalty is to the Working Families Party because you're literally giving them money to be part of their organization, bro. So what they're doing is they're sending ops in the Democratic Party. That's what they're doing.
But if Republicans switch they party,
I'm talking about the Working Families Party.
Hold on, because you're saying you're talking about ops, right?
Right.
So I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about. You can easily join the Working Family Party as a dues-paying member while maintaining your Democratic Party registration. Becoming a Working Family Party member does not mean change your registration status. They came and explained it on here when they had the sister that Marvin had us, and then when the new person came in and took her place. I know because when it came up, you asked the question, so I know you were there. That's how I know you were there. You just forgot.
I must have been somewhere else on another computer screen or something. But I mean,
because you asked the question. You said so I don't have to give up being a Democrat and I can
yeah, but you know what?
Family Party. You asked that question. Yeah.
And I probably did, but hindsight is 20/20. What I see now from what back then, oh no, I have a whole different view. Now, Larnez, what you were saying when the Republicans switched over, that was the Jews, right? They got their Republican Jewish people to switch over to Democrat to boost the vote to take Jamal Bowman out.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So it was anybody other than Jamal. Then they took George Louder. They took George Louder. They took George to Israel, and then he came back and announced his endorsement. David wasn't listening at all.
Exactly. Listen, But at the end of the day, it's all interest, right? Why do they move over? Because of their interest. And they knew.
I used that example, but I used that example in the beginning. When I said what my mother and them did, they did it because of their interest. When I said what the AIPAC did, I said because of their interest.
Yeah,
I said we don't move like that. Wait. I said we don't move like that for our interest. That's what I said. And if you go to them areas, another area, and you're not part of it, and you don't switch, you're not moving. You're not doing it for your interest. Nobody agrees with. Look, listen, Republican.
But how do you?
Republican or Democrat? No party represents everything I wanted to represent. So every party has something that I don't agree with. So even if I moved to, I lived in Georgia, was a red state. I didn't agree with a lot of the Republican things down there. I happen to live in a black county, a blue county though. But I know other people who don't live in those blue counties, and so they have say in their county politics and their local politics. They switch their party, and so they can vote. And their interests involved. See, a lot of things happen before you get to the general election. In the Democratic primary, you vote on things that are resolutions to appear on the ballot. If you're not a part of that, you can't even vote on that. Like you'll be like one or two things, and you got to vote for which one, and that one is the one that'll appear on the ballot. You can't even have say on that, and those are resolutions and stuff like that. So there's more than just your candidate that you're voting for. There's a lot of say you can't have if you're not part of the party that's in power. And that's and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You vote for your interests. It doesn't. You're not loyal to the party. Spano's not loyal to the Republicans or the Democrats. Spano moved because he couldn't get enough votes as a Republican to win the mayor race in Yonkers, so he switched his party to a Democrat. Dave Tubalo switched his party from Republican to Democrat because the Democrats is in power. As Janet DeFiore did the same thing because they wouldn't have been able to win. Spano thought he could do good for the city, but he wouldn't have won. The same thing you said that the black Republicans should have did that ran against Nader. As a Republican, you said he should have switched to a Democrat, and had he switched to a Democrat, had he switched to a Democrat, he would have won because the Democrats said, "Oh, I like him, but he's a Republican." You know what I'm saying? But they liked everything he had to say, though.
It's numbers.
Bloomberg switched how many times in New York City? That's true. Too.
No, listen, but Bloomberg switched from independent to he came in as an independent. Was he? I think he was a Republican, independent, then Democrat. But at the end of the day,
we lost politics.
Yeah, hopefully she'll come back on politics. But look, my interest here where I live now is not the same interest that I had when I lived in Mount Vernon.
But what are your party affiliation?
I'm independent.
You didn't switch to the Conservative Party?
No,
but I know you thought about it. No.
Yeah, I thought about it.
But I spoke out of turn. I thought last time you was talking, you said you was. And,
right.
And I thought
my reason was the fact that many independent party people went to the Conservative Party, right. And plus in New York State, the Conservative Party supports Democrats.
No, the Conservative Party endorses the
No, bro. No. They do the same as Doc. They do the same as the Independent Party. Are you kidding me? They do the
Conservative line and the Republican line.
Listen, are we going to talk local or are we going to go back to national?
All of the Republic. Unless you're a candidate that was smart enough to lock up all of the parties, and very few people get away.
There were Democratic judges on the conservative line
on this election.
Right.
But they were
in New York State
this year.
State
and Westchester
this year and last year. This year and last election, Fox, who's the New York State chair from Yonkers, they crossed party lines.
Right. But that was for judges. But I've never seen that other than judges. I've never seen that. Most of the elections that the person who has the Republican line usually has the conservative line. If the Democrat is lucky,
got the Conservative Party. What are you talking about?
Huh?
When Lattimore beat Astorino, he got the Conservative Party line.
Yeah, so did Richie and Andre because they were smart enough to lock up the lines.
But he got the conservative part. He got the endorsement from the conservative Lattimore. That's how Lattimore.
Well, you know, there's times when somebody in your party, somebody that you supported, pisses you off, and Astorino pissed everybody off. So
Yeah,
I have no idea. I have no doubt that people switched on Astorino.
Listen. What I'm saying is they cross party lines.
Yeah, and people do that, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right? No. On election day, this is New York, right? New York runs different because of the third parties. I don't even think there's any other state that do what New York does with their third parties. I really don't. And you don't have to. Fox is running the same game plan as Cavallo. They're doing the same thing. Yeah, one state, one place they might support a Democrat, the other state they might support Republicans. It is what it is. Doc did it. Ain't nobody have no problem with that.
But no, the question is, the thing you had said is they traditionally support the Democrats and they don't traditionally support.
No, I never said they traditionally. I said they do support Democrats.
Yeah. Because
I never said
most of the time it's the Republican candidate that they endorse.
Well, I mean, times change. You have a new state. You have a new state chair.
Yeah,
and he recognized, and everybody recognized the power of Cavallo. That's why they tried to take him out. Right. So,
but Cavallo was also different because everybody else don't run like Cavallo do. Like the Cavallo didn't hedge. Whoever was he put his power behind whoever was a smart candidate to put Cavallo. So he tipped elections. You know what I'm saying? Every party person is not like him. What specific does New York do with their third parties? They change laws so they can't be third parties no more.
No. Hey, Brother Mosley, New York, you could be a part of a third party and you could cross endorse. So a lot of the third parties, if you have the only people that don't cross endorse is the Working Families Party. But the way they set it up,
they endorse Democrats. The Working Family Party,
but they don't endorse Republicans.
But they did against Mondier. They voted for the Putnam Republicans. The Working Family Party voted for the Putnam Republican against Mondier. So they do because they didn't agree with Mondier. They did do that.
So third parties in New York can cross endorse. They can endorse Republicans and they can endorse Democrats.
And Republican as the minor party in Mount Vernon because they don't have enough registered Republicans to run their own candidate. They traditionally either they stay out the election or they endorse the Democratic candidate that they best feel aligns with their interests. So they have endorsed Democrat. Republican Party has actually endorsed a Democratic Party because they couldn't run a Republican Party candidate.
I think if black people run the program that Dr. Cavallo did, and Larnez, you got to go on our old shows. And I think he was on 2 interviews, Dr. Julio.
I'll send you the link. I'll find him.
Yeah, please do, because I want to see it.
The president of the Independent Party, Westchester. If black people, I'm going to take it a little further. If we ran the same game plan as Dr. Cavallo did, we would be a powerhouse in New York State.
The one year we did in Mount Vernon, we scared the hell out of the Democrats.
Exactly.
When we started the Mount Vernon Independent Party, and we endorsed the candidate, and that candidate got
almost won 2 months. She campaigned for 2 months. Almost.
And Lanez, this is when it was a September primary. We got her in September, and from September to November, we pushed her, and she wasn't on the Democrat Party, only on the independent line, and she almost won the seat. She scared the hell out of the Democrats. The next election, they made her one of the nominees for the council. They nominated her because they didn't want that again. They made her a nominee That was when they announced
Reggie
candidates
was
in that
Reggie
election.
was the next time because I was on his behind.
But we only had 2 months. Imagine if we had the whole campaign. We did this in 2 months, September to November. Imagine if we was able to start back in, March or April or May and ran that the whole summer. She would have won a seat, and she would have won. She would have won on an independent line, beating a Democrat in a Democratic stronghold. That would never have happened before.
Let me tell you, I think if we do that as Black people, it would be amazing. But see, we're tunnel minded in understanding, what our power is. I mean, Cavallo, to the point that Westchester Magazine named him the most powerful man in Westchester because he will swing a vote with 150 votes, 200 votes, 500 votes.
Good evening, my sister. Good evening, my sister. Yo, and wait, in the Malverde mayor race, Maureen Walker went to sleep 100 votes up. And I don't know what Ernie did to piss Doc Cavallo off, but he gave, she gave her support to Ernie. And Ernie won by 100 votes. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what happened. That's the election where I dropped out. And I told Cavallo what happened. And he called her on the phone. We was in a diner in Eastchester. It was me, Cavallo, Michelle Johnson, Sam Zerka. And I told him what happened, what the motherfuckers did to me in the North Side. And I dropped out. You're not going to use me. You're not going to make me a patsy, right? And, I still have much love and respect for Maureen, but the decisions that came out of that group and what I agreed to do with Maureen ended up different. So you know me, bro. I don't need this. I make over $100,000. Bye. And I told Doc, and he called her on the phone, and he gave her the line, and he gave the line to Ernie.
And she lost. And while she was 100 votes up, she ended up losing by 100 votes. The independent line tipped that race.
Independence Party line tipped the race. Without
the independent line, she was mayor. She would have been mayor.
She would no, with the independent line, she would have made it. She lost when Doc pulled it. And Doc is so like slick. He remind me of like he's like an old Italian 50 Cent, right? Because
great segue into our next segue. Yeah.
Right. When you watch the news clippings of them going back and forth to court, Doc was walking with Ernie all the time. Just to show you, gotcha, right? And it sounds like a mess.
And would sit on Ernie's side of the court, like the side that Ernie was on. He would sit on that side, like as a subliminal message to the judge that he put in.
Yeah, and the Republican Party, and I don't think it was just the Republican Party. It was the Democrats too. When they plotted to destroy the Independence Party, and then they tried to register a whole bunch of Republicans in there.
But the Republican Party is the one that got caught. The one that went to court.
Yeah, the Republican Party got caught.
They did the same thing they did against Jamal Bowman, but they registered like tens of thousands of Republicans to Independent Party. And this is where I got the expression political decapitation. They then were making a move to get him out as chairperson. You know what I'm saying? And then he took them to court, and the judge ruled that all of them had to be purged off the independent line because they were all Republicans, and he won in court. But they like tens of thousands of people they switched over. Like, I mean, they switched a ridiculous number of people to take over.
God bless the dead.
Yes.
And we learned so much from Cavallo.
That's how I know a little bit about politics when I didn't, because of him.
So much about the political process, about the signatures, about what to look at signatures, everything. Everything. The election law, what to do, what not to do. See, black people ain't show us that. They don't show you that, because if you know that, that's power. That is literally power. If you understand the election law and what needs to happen and what you have to do as a candidate, they're never going to show you that. Mm-hmm. Even if you're in the little friendly halls of a political party and you're a candidate, you still not clear on that process. They will never show you that, because you're just going to trust them to do what you have to.
Absolutely. So answering Kemi's question, what? I'm confused. It was that close. Yes, Kemi, it was that close. It literally was 100 and 110 votes or something like that. And she was up by 100 or something. And then when the independents pulled their support, she ended up losing by 100 points. So yeah, it was a 200 vote swing.
Yeah. So, and
we have to talk about, because we got another segment and we don't got time. Yeah. We don't got that much time. But talk about your tax plan. 50 Cent left New York because he said when he saw his taxes, New York State was his partner. He said they didn't write no rhymes, they didn't produce nothing, but they was a partner. They was getting a partner share of his money, so that's why he left. So with that segment, we're going into 50 Cent's documentary on Diddy.
We need to talk about taxes all the time, because people need to understand that the middle class gets, every time you say tax the rich, you might as well say I'm raising prices on the middle class.
Right.
Facts.
So
right.
50 Cent.
Go ahead, AJ.
He had a long 50 Cent is not 50. I love 50 Cent for one reason. Like, he's not somebody to make an enemy of. So because he is petty, but good petty. But he made himself a thorn in Puff's side, and because of something Puff did back in the days. He said it had to do with Puff asking him to take him shopping, but other things have come out that Puff might be responsible for killing one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have to do with it. And some of that, it came out in the documentary, I think, too, a little bit. I think a little piece of it.
A little bit there.
Yeah. So what I have to say, everybody's talking about this documentary, and I really have to say, because 50 is the biggest troll, and because 50 is petty, a lot of people assume this was just going to be a hit job, like a big smear campaign, a hit job against Diddy. I watched it 2.5 times, because I wanted to see something over. And I have to say, one, I am thoroughly impressed. He hired an award-winning director or producer or whatever.
Black woman, get it out.
And he hired the right people to put together a great documentary that is somewhat balanced, because it shows his rise and it shows some of the good stuff about him, and then it showed where it went bad. And it gives you a lens, and it has stuff from childhood friends onto people that were involved in the cases afterwards. And the last thing I just want to say, just before the show started, Linez, remember the juror that was on, and she said, she liked the music, but she never met him? Pictures came out today of her with him. I don't know, at an event. Like, she's
what?
like cheesing, like as a fan or something, cheesing with him. That she was. I just seen that picture today before we started this show. I'll make sure I send it to you. But anyway, the documentary is good. It tells the good story of Diddy, like kind of like the rise and fall. It's not just one-sided, and it explains a lot. Like, I knew about the things that he did with videotaping people and showing them, and they talked about this in the thing, but I knew about that when he was going out in the early days of hip-hop. He was going to the rooftop, and he was going to all of that. Alpo used to do that in Harlem. Mm-hmm. Alpo, you watch Paid in Full? Mm-hmm. Alpo used to have sex with all these girls and then show it on the wall at the rooftop. And I know plenty of sisters from that era was like, how Chris Rock said his whole goal was to keep his daughter off the pole. And as long as he kept his daughter off the pole, talking about the stripper pole, he felt he did his job. There was a whole lot of sisters in Harlem. Their whole goal was to never end up on the rooftop wall. That was their whole goal. They was never going to be on the rooftop wall. Because, that put a whole lot of people out. There's a lot of people that, and he saw that. And he showed how he saw that. You know what I'm saying? And it showed you all these things that led to the behavior, and almost explains, it doesn't justify, but almost helps you explain how someone can switch from this to that. You know what I'm saying? And absolute power corrupts absolutely. They say that all the time. And he created him so. And lastly, I just want to say it, and I'll let Lynette say, Diddy did himself such a disservice by trying to challenge the footage and send lawyers, because all he did was give it free publicity, ridiculous publicity, and people that might not even watched it because they wanted to know what the hell was going on. Diddy literally is the monologue behind the documentary, because he had to have a camera crew follow him around, do all of this stuff, and the word is he didn't pay these people, and that's probably why. And 50 was like, oh, here's how much you want. And that's he used his own words against him and showed you the things that he was saying, stuff you've never seen nowhere else before. So, With that being said, I think it broke records with Netflix in the first couple of days. and 50 showed, as an example of a street dude that was a real street dude that was hustling on the block, that took his hustle to the game and learned the game and learned the business and uses that same hustle in business. You know what I'm saying? And anything that he can make money and he brings people in and this is well done. And shout to that sister who directed it. Like I said, the black sister who directed it. I don't want to be clear, she was an award-winning director before he got her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
She jumped on, and I seen an interview with her and him on it's no longer MSNBC. Was it MS Now? MS Now. Ari the Beat had both of them on the beat, and I saw the clip of that online, and I saw her and the two of them in the other interviews too, and I was very impressed with her. So, Lonez, take it away.
Well, this documentary to me is saying a lot. It's telling on the industry, period, because people love to act like things happen in a vacuum. Right? There was NDAs, there was retaliation, there was industry blacklisting, there was trauma so deep that women literally swallowed their stories for years because they knew speaking out meant losing everything. Right? But this is also a moment
like the dumb boys. Pause. He said swallow their stories. I'll be like the younger boys. Pause. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. I couldn't help that.
This is a moment to talk about how Black women and girls are protected. And let's be real, how they're not protected. Because statistically, 1 in Black women experience sexual violence. 1 in 4 Black women, experience sexual violence. And Black women are less likely to be believed, less likely to receive support, and more likely to carry blame from their own trauma. But I don't know. You didn't mention this, AJ. You didn't mention this. Did you? I was talking to AJ. I was talking to Damon about this. His tattoo on his back. Right? I've been seeing a lot of people whisper on my timeline about the enormous tattoo on Diddy's back, which he says is the Black Madonna, but it looks very similar to Azuli Dantor, which is a very high-ranking Haitian voodoo warrior mother. She is responsible for Haiti winning the French War. I don't know if you know that. Like, this woman particular, she's the protector of women who survive violence, mothers, people who endure deep suffering, the oppression, children. She is the Black Madonna with scars, the one who fights back. She is fierce protection. She is divine justice. She is vengeance for the harm. So my question.
having that tattoo on your back is an oxymoron. Is also like portraying Jesus on the cross in that "You Can Hate Me Now" video. Like those are things you don't play with. Like you don't play with certain things. You just don't play with certain things. Whether you're religious or not, you don't put yourself on the cross like Jesus.
And damn tall, she doesn't do.
And that was his. And let me just tell you. So way before the documentary, Nas came out. That was Diddy's idea to do it. It wasn't they was talked into it. Diddy wanted both of them to do it. I think Nas wouldn't do it. And then in the documentary it shows Hezekiah came and said, "Yo, you don't do that." And now he had to change his mind, and then he wanted them to take it out, and it was already out, and Steve Stout wouldn't. And then he had he had his boys. They say he beat up Steve Stout. He had his goons beat up Steve Stout, and then paid him a couple of $1 million. But you know what else was that it came out though? He preyed on other people's girls.
Did you see that? I didn't even know Misa was messing with Eric.
I did. So, but Kim Porter was Albie Shaw's girl, and he said, "I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her." Yo,
hold on, AJ.
Misa.
It's one baby mother that they didn't talk about, which is Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Yes. Why didn't they speak about her through the whole? Tupac ex-girlfriend is Diddy's third daughter's baby mother. I mean, that's his baby mother.
Well, there was a lot of things that weren't talked about, but he preyed on Albie Shaw's girl. He preyed on Misa, who Eric said they were just friends, but I think they were more than that.
They were more than that.
He also preyed on Suge's side piece in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That came out, like, you know what I'm saying? Which furthered the beef between them. Like, I mean, I understand it was a side piece and it wasn't his main girl, but still, the point is, he wanted things that Cassie, when they showed Cassie came in this picture with her producer / boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy aced him out of the picture and then took Cassie. Like, he preyed on what other people had, and he went to get them and make them his. And there was a pattern of that. They showed that in there. And that was like, yo, the mentality of that, like, yo, you had to go after somebody else's, and you had to get them and make them yours. Like, and it's like you had to, and there was other people. Those are the only ones I can think of. But those are but that they showed that history of that. And his violence, there were people that came and said when his mother told him something about, yo, she didn't know if it was a good idea for him to drop out of school after that City College situation, he smacked his mother.
Right. Yeah.
She did.
What?
That's in the documentary. Yes. I watched that over just before the show so I can.
When I saw that part, I was like, yo, this dude is insane, and that was from his close friend.
Right.
Not the mother.
That Kurt Burrows said, or Kurt Burrows or the dude, the childhood friend. One of those two said it.
Childhood friend. It was a child.
Yeah. Tim Patterson, I think. Yeah, but one of them said it, and he said, yo, and he said that moment, everything with that moment and everything after City College, he said, because it wasn't like, yo, how can I help these people and how can I make, it was all about how can I get away with this? And there was a history of that from City College to the situation with Shine and Jennifer in the club. It was all about how I can get away. And the footage that 50 decided to open with was basically that, how he could get away with this, how he could change the public perception, how he can change the narrative because he's getting beat up. And he wasn't even think he could lose. He was like, it's not just about just winning. It's so I can have a life after this. Y'all, I'm taking too many missiles right now, and y'all are not protecting me. And he talks about that 6 days before he gets arrested. And they show all of this is crazy. Like,
well, unfortunately, with that tattoo on his back, even when he comes through this, because he will come through this and he will get out, his mindset is going to be, it is currently messed up.
Yo, you know that scene in Color Purple? Until you do right by me, nothing good's gonna happen to you.
Right.
That tattoo on his back is promise of that. Like, until you do right by these women, ain't nothing good gonna come. Because the tattoo is of the women that's supposed to be a protector of all that. Like,
she
is. You're violating all of that with the tattoo on your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Well, go ahead, Damon.
Yes, David, you're right. Eric Sermon knows a whole lot more than he said.
Yeah, Eric Sermon knows a lot more.
But Eric's trying to still be in the business right now. So.
right. Well, yeah, that's a lot of the silence is people still need the business, right? And they still need, to be in it. But the bottom line is this: Puffy's a piece of shit, right? He's a piece of shit. He's not a man. Any man that hits a woman like the way he hit Cassie, I have no respect for him. Period.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for that.
Exactly.
At all.
And as the father of a daughter,
I would have killed him.
And Damon as a grandfather of a daughter, there's no way a father daughter. The trial wouldn't have been his. The trial would have been mine.
Exactly. I would have killed. Because he's not a fighter. See, that's the crazy. He technically he's not built like that. The only thing that makes him built like that is his money. Right. He's not a fighter. He was never built like that.
Right.
And it's sad that he's going to get out and he's going to continue to use people with low self-esteem.
And promise that Carrot, like that producer, he didn't pay that money
for 2 years.
He didn't pay, and still hasn't paid him. And then when he was supposed to get $250,000, and then they offered him $29,000, and he still didn't get that. Like,
listen, he never. Well, that's the reason why. Look, he was so used to doing it. That's how 50. We just talked about. That's how 50 got the cake. You didn't pay the person. And I was watching the dude from TMZ and Mike, what's that, the French defense lawyer, Mike Zaragos or whatever, because his daughter was one of the lawyers on the case, on Puffy's case. So, and he explained that the guy that took that video was a substitute for the real videographer. So he didn't know when to turn the camera off. Right? Because the real videographer would turn the camera. Oh, shit, legal stuff. I'm going to turn it off. He just kept the camera rolling. Right? So, Puffy ain't pay him.
That's rule number one. That's the way you silence stuff. But Puff learned paying don't stop things. He paid $50,000 so the hotel footage wouldn't come out. And we all seen it, right?
Because $50,000 ain't nothing.
No, but no. The feds. I think the feds put that out.
Well, my point is, even paying $50,000 didn't stop that. So, that's rule number one. But that's rule number one. When you a person of power, you buy it and you kill it. You know what I'm saying? You kill it, like you buy it and you silence it. You don't just say, "Oh, I'm not going to pay you." When you leave somebody with ammunition like that on you, like that. Is as shrewd as he's supposed to be as a businessman, that's a failing. Like you don't know.
Well, when you're used to
getting your way and abusing people,
doing that to people, and a lot of people don't have resources to get a lawyer. A lot of people need to stay in the business of entertainment itself. They don't want to get blackballed because if you sue Puffy, then ain't nobody else going to mess with you, right? Because that it's. He took advantage of how the industry culture is, and people wanting fame. Because you heard that girl, a lawyer said, you ain't getting nothing out of this but fame. And she said she's still
badge. For the contract. What about the other girl? What about the other girl? The witnesses, her friend, the people who witnessed the abuse that she took, when she wanted them to testify, he was like, "Nah, I can't do that. I might not be invited to no more of his parties." It wasn't even a music thing. It was just about being invited to parties. I was like, yo, dude, so that's like,
and that's how sick the culture is, right? This is how sick.
And that's why Russell Simmons left the country, because Russell got dirt like this going on too, but he left the country. They can't even serve him. because there's a whole bunch of stuff with him too. There's a lot of these people. Like, see, and you know what? I told you. You mentioned Reggie. Reggie was like, "Oh, I'm not the first person to do it." When we said he was a conflict of interest for him being the board of election and the county, and I said, "Yeah, but when black people do shit that white people do, when y'all learn, black people go to jail." Yeah, white people have been doing this forever. And here's the biggest thing that I found out. So when he was making that liquor company, the liquor company that puts out Ciroc, I don't know what their parent name, I forgot. He was making them millions and tens and millions and maybe hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
When he accused them of racism or something, whatever he accused, that's they were remember in the early Trump days they were saying TMZ or whatever that the National Enquirer, they were doing a catch and kill. So if somebody had a story about it, they would pay him and they would kill it for Trump. That's what this liquor company was doing because he was making them so much money. They were deadening stories and stuff. But once he came publicly against them, they were like, "Oh, fuck it then." And they released and they let the hounds go. There was no more protection. And that's when everything started coming out.
Oh, I mean,
but everything he was saying was true.
No,
everything he was saying was true.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you bite the hand. That's the bite the hand and feed you thing. Black people don't understand. He was a useful nigga because he was making them hundreds of millions of dollars. When he started to bite the hand and feed them and accuse them of all kinds of things that is unfavorable to make them look bad, that's when they let go of the protection. And okay, that's what you want to do. Let me. I can show you better than I can tell you. And they released all the protection, and that was it.
Here's Puffy's problem. And Luke said it one time, and it's just not Puffy. It's just not Puffy. It's a lot of black entertainers and music moguls and all that. When they get with these real big rich people, right? They give them their secrets. They invite them to these parties. They put them so they know your business. So once you flip or once you stand on your own, they already know the information. They already have compiled all the information on you to take you down. See, this is what we do. And we do it. I mean, it's just a lack of strategy and a lack of understanding because these people are not your friends. You know, we
should have known better because that's what he was doing.
Well,
yeah, but
I don't know. I was listening to an interview and Suge Knight was talking to somebody about the Hollywood parties, and he was like, "Yo, if you don't sniff coke, don't sniff coke in the room. If you ain't digging dudes' asses out, don't dig dudes' asses out in the party. Don't do nothing that you wouldn't do. Still be yourself in the setting."
That's why they trying to get him. That's what they were trying to get him for, the drugging them in the drinks and all that. Drug them people to get them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. That's what they were trying to prove in the RICO case that they couldn't prove.
Well, let me tell you something. Little Rod. Little Rod.
He woke up and his ass was hurting. He ain't know why.
I guess Little Rod didn't testify. Because when that motherfucker said, "Yo, I be waking up and I'm sore and all this, and I wake up and sometimes the girl's in the bed and then sometimes Puffy in the bed." I'm like, dude.
It was the turbulence.
I said, dude, do you understand what you just said? Like, dude,
the chick, Audrey O'Day, the girl Audrey O'Day, she found out she was raped from somebody else's testimony. They made a statement and they sent it to her, and she's reading and she has no recollection of that.
Right.
And that's why the person who did the documentary is going to be in the same. My sister said one thing. My sister said, 50 better hope he has no skeletons. Because, the person who trolled everybody, if you got a skeleton, boy, everybody coming for you. So he better hope he don't have no skeletons.
But what's that movie? What's that movie with the man, not Unusual Suspect?
Unusual Suspect?
No, the one where his house got broken into and Enemy of the State. No, it's not Enemy of the State. Jamie Foxx is in it. He's the lawyer. And they came in and they raped his family. And he was very calculated. I really feel like this is Diddy getting justice for his friend. Because a lot of people's like, oh, it's because his baby mom's was his girlfriend. No, she probably leaked some information to this nigga too.
Listen, 50 is not finished.
Oh no! Wait, he just had a. He just said when he did this, he planned 2 years in advance. There's another clip I'm gonna send it to you. He said, "Yo, he has other stuff." He said he didn't talk. He only showed a few of the interviews he did. He said he did over 100 interviews. He still has all that proof, and he said, and then he brought everything that he could buy. Jadakiss said after verses. After Jadakiss said after verses. What they did, he said they let off some clips. He said, but they had way more clips that they didn't let off. 50 got more clips that he got stuff he ain't. And the next one is coming out.
Listen to Negro Dollars. The next one is coming out when Puffy gets released.
That would be a good time.
The Reckoning Part 2. Trust me, if 50 has been in the entertainment business, the filmmaking business, the TV making business, if he has all that, they're already working on the next one. Mm-hmm. The fact that it broke numbers, Netflix want a next one.
Right? They probably made it off already. They probably they greenlighted it already. Yeah.
So it's that one. When Puffy get out, watch what happens. And now, Netflix is the motherfucker now. Netflix owns goddamn Warner Brothers, right? Yeah. Netflix is Netflix is the big dog.
Yo, and you know how in movies like Scarface, his demise was when he started turning on the people that protected him. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember his right-hand man and all them other things. And when you start shitting on all those people, those are the people who had your back. Now it's just you with your gun out there by yourself. Like, that was 50. I mean, that was Diddy. Mm-hmm. He had all his big guns, he done turned on them. All the people that was with him, he done did them dirty. And it's just like, yo, you can't, karma is a bitch. And people don't understand that. Yo, what you do comes back and
tenfold.
And I wish the brother no harm in jail. Let me be clear. You know what I'm saying? But things happen to people like you when you live in this life, like, yo, there's a price to pay. Because he got to the point where he thought that he was like Gotti, he was like Teflon Don, but you seen even Gotti got. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, there is no Teflon Don, like, and he got away without having any lawsuits from the city college thing, and that's why he put 75% of the business in his mother's name, and Justice and the other businesses were all in his mother's name. You know what I'm saying? So nobody could come for him. The thing with the Shine thing, he left Shine in the wind. And he, you know what I'm saying? He survived that, and he survived several other things too. And at some point, when there's no price to pay, the childhood friend who lived in his house, said one thing. He said, the difference between us, I had a father in my house to teach me right from wrong, and he didn't have that. Mm. So my point is, he's not paid the price for anything he's done. And at some point, you start thinking you can get away with anything. Like, there's nothing that can touch you. You know what I'm saying? And, yo, everybody falls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and great big white people fell. So, you know, you pissing off, and you black as it is, they want to take you down anyway. I mean, let's put it there. And you giving them ammunition. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, yo, he did get lucky because the DA, the prosecutors, they did a piss poor job improving their case. And one of the jurors was like, yo, they believe he was guilty of arson and attempted murder of Kid Cudi, but those weren't charges.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Those weren't charges. Arson and attempted murder wasn't, but they believe that. Like, if they added that to the charges, they might have convicted him of those things. because they believe he was guilty of those. They didn't prove the RICO part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they put all their eggs in one basket. They did a piss poor job of proving it, and that's why he didn't get none of the bigger charges, because there's other things he could have been convicted of. But they dropped the ball on that, and they got him for the little things they can get him for. He lucky that he's going to see the light. There's a possibility of him seeing the light of day, because he was going for life.
Well, I don't know. After this documentary, he responsible for Biggie, Zip, Tupac, G, Justin, and him was responsible for somebody in the studio, and Aaliyah, because that's going around now. It's so it seems like every conspiracy
and the mysterious illness that Albie Shaw had.
Right. On top of that.
On
top of that,
mysterious illness.
I don't know
who's the other one? And Jamie Foxx was the other one.
Jamie Foxx.
Those are those.
Oh,
these are allegations. But these are things that, you know, Jamie want to keep moving forward. He got through it. And he ain't moving forward. Al is only saying but so much. He's coming. He's throwing it out there, but he won't pull. I don't know if he's waiting for a perfect time or whatever. But he's only saying but so much. So I don't know. But there are so many other things that, and I was told very early on when the real truth comes out about Biggie and Tupac, neither Suge or Puff's hands are clean. They're both of them gonna have blood on their hands, both of them. That's what we were told early on.
I believe that, because they was
people in the know that just couldn't tell everything at the time, because they couldn't tell everything. But they said when the truth comes out, Puff definitely got blood on his hands. For Big too, because there's a video where he's talking to Gene and another dude, and he comes back and he's like, Biggie's effing up my thing, and I'm not letting nobody F what I'm trying to do. Everybody could get going. And when he left, the dude said to Gene, said, yo, did he just talk about Biggie could be done too? Biggie could get killed too? There's a video of this, like, of that conversation, of the two bodyguards having a conversation. He's like, remember when he said that? And yo, a lot of people think his hands is dirty on that too. Like, you know, because Big was leaving. Big started the label Untainment with his partner Un, and had Junior Mafia and all of them on there. And he was literally writing a lot of the rhymes, because C's tells you that Big wrote all his rhymes. You know what I'm saying? C's has come out and said that. So Puff owned Big's publishing, and Puff wasn't getting no money.
Big wasn't getting no money.
Puff wasn't getting no money from Big writing Junior Mafia. He wasn't getting, Puff wasn't getting no money off of that. Big cut him out. He went to the studio that night, the night Tupac, to confront Big, because he was in the studio with Junior Mafia. That's the reason Big Puff was even there. He was there to confront Big. Somebody said there's no volume. Can anybody else hear? Because Jeff Anderson said he can't hear. And I see volume. I see the dots moving on my thing when I'm talking. So.
The dots are moving on mine too.
And I hear all of y'all. So Jeff, I don't know if you might just have to go out and come back in, or you muted something, or I don't know. But if anybody else is still tuned in, I need to know, can y'all hear? Because there's only one person saying they can't hear. So just give me we can hear you, thumbs up or something. Craig Mack. Oh, don't leave out the Craig Mack. There's a video of Craig Mack that came out, and he's sitting there telling, and he's like, yo, I'm not somebody with a gun, but I had to sit there with a gun because they was coming for me. And he's talking about Puff wanting, oh, thank you, James. James said he can hear. Puff wanting Puff. He won't mention Puff, but he's talking about Puff, how he's trying to get him to sign something for another deal or something. And if he didn't do it, they were threatening to kill him. And Craig started talking about he had to start carrying a gun. And in the interview, he's like, I got it on me right now. And he's telling the story. Yo, another thing, telltale sign, every artist who ever left either got killed, went to jail, or turned to religion.
True.
Craig Mack became a born-again Christian and joined a cult in North Carolina,
Mace.
South Carolina. Mace became a pastor and a rapper, and then a pastor, and I don't know what else. The other dude, the tall dude, Loon, what was it, Loon? One of them? He's an Orthodox, whatchamacallit? He's a big religious person now. Then Craig ended up getting killed. Puff is killed. Black Rob is dead.
And Black Rob had some mental illness. He had a whole bunch of breakdowns.
Yeah. But his treatment. Shine. I said Shine. Shine is a redemption story because of what he overcame and what he's doing now. That's just a redemption story. But and because of that, he won't really take it. He's like, I'm moving on. But I'm glad y'all are asking the questions because y'all are asking all the right questions. But I'm not gonna give you the information. But y'all are asking the right questions. That's what he's saying. Yeah. So this dude, the dude that was down with Tupac, he said, Joe, this is not a violent dude. Anybody knows him, he is no way a violent dude. But there's so much violence around him, and everything around him ends in violence. And then it was like Pac wouldn't work with him. Remember?
One of the dudes.
Remember he said Pac would work with him? He wanted Pac.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Pac
one of the dudes that I think it was his the dude who started the Black Bad Boy with him. He stated like when
Kurt
he
Burrows.
got that one point when they were able to buy Biggie album from Arista and he got that 1.5, he's always been a paper gangster, right?
Right, and
he said, now the money
and he wanted to be helped him. He wanted to be, a street gangster,
street
but
cred. He wanted to get the street cred along with being a paper gangster. How much are you proving yourself to be that? Though?
So Damon, while I can't confirm 100%, but from the research that I've been doing and people I've talked to, you remember the movie American Gangster? You remember remember Idris Elba character? Remember when Denzel was telling him he needed to pay that money and he didn't pay it? And he shot him in the middle of the street and his brothers was in the restaurant? Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be Diddy's father. That's Idris Elba's character is supposed to be Diddy's father. Yes.
Oh, what?
He died like that.
Wow.
I don't nobody confirm, like this is what I'm looking into and this is what I'm hearing. So I don't independently corroborate all of that. You know what I'm saying? But from what I'm hearing, that character was based on Diddy. That guy watch the movie and see if the dude's name was Melvin. Because if his name is Melvin, that's actually.
I think he had a nickname.
Yeah. But I don't know what his name was. But whether that was him, supposedly that character is loosely based on what happened to
really?
Diddy's father Melvin. Because he ran in them circles with Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes and all of them. He was in that circle. He was in that circle. Yeah.
Mm. Interesting.
So NDAs are the reason why some people stay silent. Yeah, that too, because they took the money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that goes to show when you do NDAs to keep people quiet, you pay people who got film like that on you that you don't let those people walk out. Like you don't let people walk away with you with film like that. You don't let nobody walk away. He said Diddy's father was Frank Lucas' driver for years. Ask me how I know family ties. LOL. But I know he was around that. Yeah. But his father died the way the Idris Elba character died. That part I do. But I don't know if that was supposed to be his father or, you know what I'm saying, based on that thing. But yeah. But that shit is crazy though. But overall, my overall recommendation, everybody, I recommend everybody see it. It was definitely worthwhile. It was definitely a well-balanced, it'll definitely take you into the mind and the trajectory of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start out that way. His mom, you know what I'm saying, had him going to all the private schools and all that stuff to keep him away from all of that. You know what I'm saying? And kept him away from the Harlem family, his father's family. She purposely kept them away and all that. And he ended up hanging out with them in later years anyway. But he wasn't that kid the guy who lived in the house in the first floor knew as a little boy, and the kid that went to Mount St. Michael's. Again, I'm glad they said that because he never went to Mount Vernon High School. I tell people he never went to Mount Vernon High School. He went to Mount St. Michael's. That's the Catholic school. He didn't go to high school with us. So I'm just saying, because people are like, but he had a Mount Vernon High School jacket. Nope. I don't care if he had a jacket. He might have had some money to get a jacket, but he was never about. But anyway, that cat is not the same cat that we see now.
Oh, look at! I ain't hear this.
I need y'all to answer the question about his upbringing and his parents. I'm hearing that Janice is not his real mother and Melvin is not. I don't know anything about that. I can't answer that.
I don't know nothing about that, man.
Right. And I'm not getting into I'm not getting into all that. As far as he's concerned, Janice is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And Janice told him that Melvin was his father because he wouldn't remember it anyway, because he never got to know his father. So that's all I know. And at this point, what I would tell you, David, there's going to be a lot of stuff on the internet, and there's going to be a lot of allegations, a lot of propaganda, and a lot of bullshit. So make sure you look into them situations before you repeat stuff like that, because I can't confirm or deny no shit like that. But I never heard none of that. And as far as I know, all his life, Janice is his mom, and Janice is the one that held him down, and he put everything in her name. So that's the part I do know.
After this show, everybody's listening. I'm not having no more conversations about this shit. Public piece of shit. He deserved everything he got. And anybody that's dismissing or trying to defend this Negro, then you're defending the bullshit that he's done to people for over the years. Like I don't defend that. God has given him everything he's supposed to get. See, this is what we're missing. This is what we're missing.
And Hezekiah Walker told him that when he told him to get that footage of him playing Jesus on the cross. He was like, yo, dude, everything is going to go. Nothing good can come from this. And Hezekiah also told him that you get what you reap what you sow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you put out there is coming back to you. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Yo, God.
Listen, you can't
get away with stuff for years, but they end up getting there.
God is always, listen, you think you're getting away with shit. You think you done creeped on your wife, you done creeped on your husband, you done did dirty shit to people, you done did shit behind closed doors to people, you done did whatever, and you think you got away with it. You never get away with it. You never get away with it.
Best thing you can do is repent and ask for forgiveness. That's the best thing you can do.
Exactly. The scripture says, and I'm paraphrasing, the most blessed man is the man that God hides his sins. The most blessed man, right? But and God doesn't hide your sins all the time.
But if you repent, if you do repent and all that, he washes them away. That's what the Bible says, though. But you have to honestly repent. You have to
wash them away.
Yeah, you have to honestly repent. Oh, why did they slip TD Jakes? Why did they slip TD Jakes in? It ain't right. Who slipped? Was he in the documentary? He wasn't in the documentary, right?
Was he in there? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember because I done seen it 3 times and I'm still missing some parts.
But he did come out. He was at the parties though.
He definitely was at the parties.
But again, let me just be clear. So there are 2 different kind of parties. Like, people have gone to parties, and there's the regular party, and then there's another party going on that most people that are at the party don't know what's going on. That's either upstairs or downstairs or in the basement somewhere. There's another party going on. So a lot of people be at the white parties and they be out by the pool. They don't know that this other party is going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying TD Jakes is innocent or guilty. I'm just saying just being at one of his parties don't mean that you were at a jump off of whatever they used to call that, whatever you call it.
But it does mean I'm going to look at you a little crooked, especially.
No, listen. No. Let me tell you.
What you promote, the house of God.
Well, you shouldn't be at those kind of functions.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
People tell you this is an age of social media, right? So everybody want to be seen, whether you're a pastor, where you this and that. Everybody want to be seen. Now, I talk to my man Carl all the time, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, bro, he been a lot of puffy parties." He said, "But I ain't never seen he did." And this is the thing: either there were separate parties that when you went, you knew what you was going there for, right? Now, Carl was telling me, he said, "Dude, I was there like 2-3 o'clock in the morning." He said, "I ain't seen nothing." Right. It's one of the parties he had after award show, and Carl said he was there, right? And he was like, "Dude, I ain't seen nothing." He said, "So if it's a special entrance to the motherfucker, right, that only certain people know, or there's special freak off parties,
right? That happen like upstairs,
that when you go, that's
where you're going. Yeah,
right." This is a freak off party. So I mean,
Denzel had the best answer even before all of this came out. Denzel said he's going to these industry parties, and he says he leaves before the devil gets there. He don't stay. He goes to show his face, like those after parties for the before. He shows his face. He'll be there, and he the hell out of there before all that other shit. And Luke had the best answer. Luke was like, "Yo, I sell sex for a living." Like on his records, he said, "I can't live that lifestyle." He said, "There's no way. Like they be gunning for me. They looking for me to do something like that. Like I talk about this. That's what I sell on records. There's no way I could live that way." He said, I don't go to those parties. And he even said if he do go, he leave early too. And when Luke say that he go to a Diddy party and he leave before shit happened, that's Luke. When Luke tell you that your parties is off the hook, that he gotta go.
Everybody
that should say something.
Everybody knew, and just like Chopper said in the interview, he said, "Look, everybody throws those parties. Everybody do. Everybody." He said Suge Knight threw the party, and that's when Suge Knight told him, "You be yourself. If you're about that life, you're gonna be about that. If you're not about that life, you ain't gonna be about that." Right. And then Chopper said some more other stuff too, but at the end of the day, that's the industry. And that's what Cat Williams was talking about. That God is going to expose all these freaks and entertainment freaks, right? Because now where did Puffy get it from? Clive Davis came out publicly that he was bisexual.
Right.
Well, all of the pictures with him and Puffy, you side-eyeing.
Right.
Like, why are you sitting that close to this man?
Well, because that's that shit, right? Now we don't know unless some
we know. You can tell.
Well, I ain't gonna say it.
I know where you retired from.
Right.
Behavior and people's movement speak volumes before they even speak.
Right. And Andre Harrell used to work for Russell. You see what situation he's in, and he left, and he mentored Puff too. But you remember the conversation? I'll say this, we can probably bounce whenever. When Wayne Lewis, when Atlantic Star was on, and me and him was talking about, there's certain levels of, rest in peace to my brother. There's certain levels. The reason Atlantic Star never got to that next level of stardom is because there's shit that they just wouldn't do. Because there is a level of, you have to do some things to get to certain levels, and I'm not saying everybody who's a superstar has done something, but if you're not willing to do certain things and they have something on you, you will never get to those levels. And he said he was happy with their level of success, and he just kept doing that and being them because they was never about that life, and they was never going to do those things. And I was like, yo, I can relate to that because there's certain levels I never reached, and you know what I'm saying, in my career. Like I wasn't and there's certain levels not reaching. I was never invited to those parties. I wasn't even on the level to be in attendance.
So AJ, so
you gotta be on the level to be.
No, wait, AJ, what you saying? You was invited?
I ain't saying I was. I went to Russell Simmons parties. I never been to any of the white parties or anything. Russell Simmons used to have the annual party, the Christmas party on the roof and all that stuff. But I think there was after parties after that too. But I was never in that upper echelon to, I wasn't knowing none of that stuff was going on. I went to the party, we bounced. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those parties, there's the after party. Yo, I went to music conventions and there's somebody had a party and they had strippers in there dancing with all the press and everything and all that. And if you were somebody big, you got to go in the back room with whoever you wanted to and do whatever you wanted. I wasn't on that level. You know what I'm saying? That was their form of payola.
That happens in the industry, but that was happening in our community during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
I mean,
they would have a whole bunch of house parties.
Look, it wasn't happening up here. I don't know where the hell y'all.
I told Damon this part. One of them industry conventions that was in Dallas. So one of the girls at that party, and she's dancing on my lap, and she was like, she realized that I recognized her, and she's like, "Oh, please don't say nothing." She was married and lived around the corner from me. Her husband thinks she went on a girls' trip for the weekend. Her girls, she out stripping for the weekend. She made a lot of money, but I'm just saying her husband thinks her and her girls went on vacation or something. And I was like, yo, that shit made me not trust a whole lot of shit. I was just like, yo. See that Lloyd. Yeah, see that wife and mother that live around the corner, and she was one of the strippers. I was like, oh shit. Yo, so that but the industry. But yeah, Wayne was talking about that. There are certain things that they put you in and compromising positions. Cat Williams talked about the dress, and we've just seen some more footage of somebody else who's very popular wearing a big red one on.
Hold on. I was talking to Damon about this. So he was in a dress
on stage,
and then he was, and I don't know if everybody paid attention. Then he was at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Who float was he on, Damon? And who I was talking about the other day?
Who float? You guys,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He was on the Teenage Mutant.
He was on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So AJ, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So I guess the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, he got a deal. So you got to put this dress on if you want this deal.
Right, but listen to this.
That's what Cat Williams said. Cat Williams said a lot of those people levels of success after they wore the dress.
Right. Yeah. Right. But look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? They are underground. They move under tunnels, right? They codename pizza.
She be taking it. Codename pizza.
That's a code name for pedophiles, right?
Really? Ooh, oh shit.
Yes. And who is their best friend?
Wait, April. I lost you. Say that last part again, because I lost you.
What part?
Say that last part about the pizza, whatever you said.
So pizza is a code name for pedophiles. They call them pizza.
Is what?
Code name for pedophiles.
Code name.
Right? Hold on. So they eat pizza underground in a tunnel, and their best friend is April. She's controlling the media. Come on. Wow. And he was on the float.
So there might be a movie coming out, huh?
I'm just saying, it's crazy.
Well, all I know, I'm not accused.
Stranger danger.
I know.
Stranger danger.
But I know that a lot of people, and Cat Williams talked about a lot of people wearing dresses in there. Even Kevin Hart, he accused of Kevin Hart. His career took a whole nother trajectory after that Saturday Night Live scene, the thing he said he would never do before that. And it was like if they made him prove that he would, and then so it's just like there are levels of this shit, and Puff was part of that gatekeeper shit too. He learned from that, and he was doing that because he got tapes. Another reason people was quiet, he got tapes on a lot of people. They didn't even know if their tapes was coming out. There's a whole lot of people was real quiet and didn't have an opinion on him in public because there were tapes, and they don't know where those tapes are. And if the feds got it or if he hit them, there are tapes out there on some really big, important people. That's what he was doing, compromising people and videotaping them, and then be like, yo, when you try to do something, they'd be like, oh yeah, before you make up your decision, you might want to watch this. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, yo.
Bananas.
Yeah. And that was part of his protection, but he got too big for his britches. He flew what's that with the dude who flew too close to the sun and his wings burned? What's that dude's name? The character who flew too close. Icarus. Yeah, he flew too close to the sun and he burned his wings burned. He flew too close to the sun. So I just, I pray for his family though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's, he that learned behavior. I'm hoping it didn't pass down to him. Oh, Mick Mills. Yeah.
Well, Mick Mills was in same outfits with Diddy at parties, like they were twins.
They were clowning him when he started saying no Diddy. They was like, not you. He said, you can't say no. They were clowning. I don't know if that's true or not with Meek Mills, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff out there, and I can tell you, I definitely don't know if it's true or not. But it's like, you got to play the game to get super, super successful. And he had a meteoric rise from intern to VP in a year. under Andre Harrell. Like he was an unpaid intern and was VP by the end of the year. Like that was unheard of as well. And these things, so maybe he was compromised, and you know what I'm saying? Because you know when it happens to you, you get that learned behavior you pass on to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you was an artist that really got taken advantage of, just on that level. When you put out artists, you take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you know. So I heard screaming. Let me stop. Oh. I was wondering what Meek Mills had to say. I heard screaming. No, let me stop. There are people who said they opened certain doors and seen certain things, and they never went back to the parties, and they never said another thing about it. And they moved on with their life, and they won't speak on what they saw. They ain't testifying, but they not speaking on it either.
Wow.
But that documentary. Bottom line is the documentary is a good story of the rise and fall and what he said, the reckoning, and out of the 100 lawsuits, 79 are still pending. So even after the 50 months or whatever, I don't know if you get less time for good behavior or whatever, there's all of that. He has all of them lawsuits, and they're not all going to be dismissed. Nope. You understand what I'm saying? And in civil suits, the burden of proof is a lot less than a criminal case.
But what he did with all that money, the money that he made from the liquor, what were you doing with it? What did he do with it?
No, he still got
it. And he was living extravagantly. A lot of things is in his mother's name. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
So the kids might be taken care of because the mother may have the money for them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And let's say Bad Boy, 75% of Bad Boy was in her name. Just in the restaurant, the Atlanta one and New York one were in her name. Those are the ones that's the things I know. I don't know about all the other stuff.
It's all, listen, he's no different than Trump, right? On paperwork, they broke. And that's what rich people do. That's why you cannot tax rich people. Like this is it just shows you you cannot tax rich people. They know how to move their money, hide their money, make it inaccessible.
Wait.
Only on motherfuckers that get W-2s.
I'm laughing because Damon is talking about taxes in every segment.
Right. But the joke, I had a joke though. You mentioned Trump though. Trump was talking about pardoning a whole lot of people, but he changed his tune on Diddy though.
No, you know why? He said it
real quick.
No, he said it in the interview. He put that shit to rest in the interview. What he said, he was like, yo, we had a great relationship in the beginning. We was cool. All of a sudden, I decided to run for president. He had all these things to say about me. And in the piece, they put all the stuff Puffy was saying about him. Calling him a racist and blah, we got to get this, blah, 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 blah. He said, so for Puffy, no, I'm not.
Somebody said Tom Brady don't got nothing in his name either.
Yeah. No, but that's the listen. That's what you do. That's what when you have an accountant and you have the financial person, they show you you pay them to hide your money. That's why rich people don't pay taxes.
And then you got all those other things like Swiss bank accounts. There's all those countries that they can't touch.
Well. Look at Zerka.
He had money, he had money in countries that don't give a fuck about the United States, like Yugoslavia and all those.
They said wait a minute. They said one address in one of those countries, right? And Zerka's my man, but I got to talk about it because when I read the article, I laughed. That when they went there, right, it was a mailbox. Wasn't nothing. Wasn't no building. It was just land in a motherfucking mailbox. It was like, yo, but listen, that's the way you do it.
But he has so much money, they wouldn't give him bail because taking his passport wouldn't have done nothing. He could have just got a private plane and flew out. Like the money, I'm not even quoting because I don't want to misquote the amount, but it was an ungodly, ridiculous amount of money they said his worth was.
It was insane because if you knew where Zerka came from, he was known as a party promoter back in the day.
That's how I know him. I did parties with him.
It was Sammy Z Productions.
I did parties with him at Club Hollywood.
All the fucking clubs, and then he flipped that into real estate. He bought a whole bunch of buildings and everything.
Wait. I was living before I went to Atlanta. I was doing a lot of party promotions with him at Club Hollywood. Like I did one big party. We rented it out. He loved how we got down, and he hired me. And we did co-promoted stuff together. Brought a bunch of artists through, had some good times. One time we took a bath, and I thought he was going to be pissed. I didn't lose money because I was counting on the money I was going to make. He lost money because he put a lot of money in. I thought he was going to be pissed. He was like, nah, we're just going to go to the strip club. We're going to shake it all off. Like, yo, he didn't even care. Like, he took a bath. But then I went to Georgia, and then Damon's telling me about Sammy Z, this and Sammy Z. I'm like, nah, the dude I know is a concert promoter. Like, you talking about somebody in politics and all that? I'm like, this ain't the same dude. It's the same dude. I didn't know the time I was in Atlanta, he grew into what Damon's talking about. And dude.
I didn't know. Like, when I started the job at Corrections, his brother was in there for murder. And his brother went upstate, his brother Ali. Now, I knew his brother in there. I didn't know Sammy until Cavallo, until we started doing all the political stuff. But I had met his brother, and it was kind of crazy because when I first started, you was able to wear civilian clothes if you wasn't sentenced. But his brother used to hang out in the fucking hallway. I used to always thought for maybe about 6 months, I thought his brother was like a social worker or something because he had these fly ass jumpsuits, right? Ali was huge, like he was like a football player. He was huge, but Albanian. He just be in the hallway chilling, right? And I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's always in the hallway. I be talking to him, and then that's oh shit. Like 6 months later, I was like, yo, dude, I ain't never knew you was an inmate. I said, damn, I thought you was a social worker because he was always in the hallway. Every time I saw him, he was just like, he was sitting like with the officers like this, with his legs crossed, just having conversations. I never thought he was an inmate.
Wow.
No, I never thought he was an inmate, but he ended up going upstate for murder charge. I met Sammy years later, but then they got him on, and they went after him because when he sued the IRS.
See that was gonna go. I was gonna go there. He sued the IRS. They were investigating him, and he said, "Oh, I'll sue you." And he sued the IRS. I was like, he did what? He sued the IRS.
Listen, Lorna, I don't know if you remember. Remember the newspaper publisher that sued the Yonkers mayor and made him apologize when they were stealing his paper bins out in Yonkers?
I recall the story, yes.
The Guardian newspaper. That was Zerka's paper. That was Zerka's newspaper.
That was his paper.
Yeah. Wow.
Wait. And it gets better. That's what Damon got his start from, because Damon started writing for him. That's what Damon got.
Yeah, I was writing for the Guardian. I was writing for the Guardian. Like, he put me on the cover and shit. I be there. Be all over his shit, right? Then I started writing articles. You know what I'm saying? I started writing articles, and they started putting me in the Guardian, man. And that's where I was like, man, I like this shit. This shit is dope, And then I said, man, we got to start our own joint. That's when the Guardian was falling off. Zerka was really, like, he wasn't really focusing on the Guardian anymore.
Because he went to jail. No, he went to jail. And then
he was under all that because they was trying to keep it going without him. And when he was investigated, what really messed him up, what the feds came in, he wrote an article about the investigators, put it in the Guardian, and sent it to their house.
Why?
Because that's what Zerka used to do. And they got him. Like, it's just, it was just too much.
Wait, you can't do that to prosecutors, but we've done that to elected officials.
Yeah. Jeff Anderson. Yeah, Yonkers was stealing the mailboxes, and Zerka hired a private eye, right? A private investigator, and he got him on tape. and he sued them First Amendment rights of speech and all that because they was doing it on city time, and he made the mayor come down and publicly apologize and all that stuff. You know, so I mean, like, then Zerka hooked up with Doc Cavallo, and then it was, yo, he used to take. So Zerka has so much money, and this is how you know how politicians are just, you know, not everybody, in general, they're whores, right? If you got a lot of money, they want your money, right? And he take Clinton Young. He got Clinton Young, take Clinton Young. And then when all that stuff, when we was telling you how the Republicans was trying to take over the Independence Party, he take Astorino talking about it and sent it to the press. When he taped Clinton Young, that was crazy. He taped Clinton Young and sent it to the press. Yo, Zerka didn't give a F. He didn't care. Yo, and that's
what Sam Rivers got it from. That's what Sam Rivers got that taping. He taped Reggie twice in one day. Wait, no, he taped Reggie twice in one day. You get me once, you not get me a couple hours later. And the second time was worse than the first time.
But you know what though? I mean, that time in politics with Zerka, it was chaos. Like, we created.
I tell you what, they better be lucky that Black Westchester never had Zerka money, because a whole lot of people will be in trouble. We've got to a point where we've come close to unearthing something really way big above our pay grade, but we didn't have the investigative muscle to continue going on, and we scared the hell out of people because they didn't know how much we knew, and we didn't know how close we were, but we couldn't go any further. We had money like, dude, we'd have been investigators, all kinds of stuff, and forensic stuff. Yo, dude, a lot of people would have been in trouble if we had Zerka money. Like,
yo, that Robin the Hood cover that I did.
Oh yes,
I got that from Zerka. He did it years ago with Clinton Young, but he had Clinton Young in a Robin Hood uniform. He had him make this. And it said Robin the Hood. Yo, it was crazy. And Ernie took that paper, passed it around, and used it as political material and he beat Clinton. He beat Clinton. That was crazy. Those days was insane. We
had a few elected officials take our paper and pass it around and we just uncovered something. We weren't the political operative. We just covered something that somebody did, and it just happened to be the person running against him wanted extra copies so they could hand out his campaign literature at every door. Can we get 10,000 copies? Because you can have as many copies as you want, because that means I ain't got to pass them. And they was going by door to door handing stuff out as political.
The last election, this election that just passed, we were challenged by text message by Kenny Plummer, and we answered the challenge. And we put your paper against our paper. Let's see what happened. And he ended up resigning as district leader after we finished with him as a Democratic Party. And I say it here for people that are watching and people that are listening. That whole issue, whatever you hear, we didn't start it. We was just responding to it. And we still have to, and we have the text messages. We have the text. Look, I can play Candace Owens, and we have the text messages to prove it.
Most of the things when we went after somebody, we really went after and kept going after them. Most of them was because they challenged us. They questioned they tried to challenge the question on our credibility. They came after us for whatever reason. One person tried to come after Damon's family and his businesses. Like, those are the people that caught the hell. They caught hell because we kept responding. Like back in the days of Mark Twain, they said they used to have a saying, "Never mess with anybody who buys ink by the barrel." That's when they used to write with ink. Well, our remix is never mess with somebody who got a pen and a mic. And unfortunately for you, we have both. So no matter what you do, I'm gonna be able to, like, the paper and the website reach a lot of people that your Facebook page don't reach. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the show is on video and it gets passed around. You know what I mean? And the thing is, real talk, unlike a lot of people, we do have receipts for everything. Even things that we didn't go, like how you said 50 got a lot of stuff. There's receipts on people. There's people, if they decide to run again, there's receipts coming. There's things coming. I'm not gonna say it because I think the person's gonna do it and I'm gonna do it too. But there's things waiting for them.
Listen, look. I'm gonna tell you right now, I show no shame, right? I show no shame in my game. Every time Richard Thomas will run for mayor, I'm gonna come at him. That's on the record. It's not political, it's personal. When you attack my family and your brother tries to make false reports and you try to tell city workers to make false reports against me, try to get me arrested and all that other stuff, try to mess up my money and my family.
Suspend your wife.
Bro,
suspend your wife.
Right, my wife
and try to close the cupcake shop down. Your business, yeah.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, you could apologize to my wife. But you never called me and said anything to me. But for the record, you don't have to, because every time you decide to run, I will remind the people of Mount Vernon how much you are a piece of shit. And make that clear, because when you come after a man's family, when you come after a man's wife, bro, the Bible gives me permission to come after you.
Not the Bible.
I'm letting them know. All y'all.
He's coming after you with biblical wrath.
Exactly. And listen, because I say that to all y'all pastors out there that stood around and watched all this stuff and didn't say anything.
Oh Lord.
So when I come after him, y'all acting like, whoa, why is he doing that? No, we're gonna expose you every time to the people of Mount Vernon. Your best bet is to move to another state.
And for a few other people listening, you're on that list too. I made a list. Exactly. I made a list and I'm checking it twice.
But
you're
the Black Santa. You're the Black Santa.
I never said nothing to you. And I never called you out. And you think you got away with something, but I made a list. I was busy doing other things, but I got a list.
But especially Richard Thomas. And dude, I'm cool with your family. But that will never happen. And when I choked his brother out at a party in White Plains, he gonna tell Mike B, oh man, or all that stuff. Mike B was like, yo, I didn't know you did all that to his family. He said, oh man, that's just politics. Mike B was like, bro, you don't mess with people's families.
Yo, Lanez, this dude called the county jail, and tried to report that Damon pulled a gun on him and tried to kill him. But the person who answered the phone was also from Mount Vernon and knew the situation and knew him.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. And I don't carry a gun.
And you have to be registered, you have to confirm, you have to get qualified every year. He ain't even go for the qualification for the last 10, 15 years because he didn't want to carry a gun. And everybody knew that. So it was like,
so you gonna call up there talking about he threatened me with a gun, and you're like, what?
What gun?
Wait, first of all, we done had his gun in our locker here at the job since the 90s. and quiet as kept, they still got it in their locker. I haven't even got the damn thing, and I've been retired almost 3 years. It's still in their locker. They said, yo, dude, when you gonna come get your gun? I said, when the gun laws change. Keep it. When the gun laws change, I'll be the first one there. And the gun laws is about to change too. That's another topic. They about to shoot everything down. But anyway.
Today has been a definitely colorful. Yo, so wait.
You gotta make that message clear.
Wait. So yo, Joe. So I guess I got a little animated I got a knock on the door and everybody came. Yo, we was just checking on you, make sure you was okay. I heard we can hear you. I was just like, they didn't know who pissed me off. I said, no, we just having a heated conversation on the show. I had to mute it. He was like, they thought I was like going after somebody. I was like, nah, we was just having a heated debate on the show.
Hey, I want a big shout out to X, man. X is really doing this thing and watching us live. Big shout out to all the people that's watching from X, YouTube, Facebook, but definitely big shout out to X. Y'all are the leading people
what
watching.
About the new forum? What about the new forum? You didn't put that
Rumble?
on Rumble?
Nah, I didn't even go live on Rumble today. I forgot.
Oh, okay. Because we got a new format now. We tested it out.
Yeah. Some things you got to do is just not automatic. So if I forget, but I'll upload it on Rumble anyway. But
also,
yeah,
shout out to all the people, all the people that subscribing and liking the YouTube channel, which is growing exponentially. We're getting thousands of new subscribers. We're getting the views per month has increased to the 6 figures per month. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo. So thank you all of those who watch and share and rewatch and all of that. We appreciate it. That's why we give you we've been able to give you this real talk for the community since 2014, and Black Westchester give you the news with the Black point of view since 2014. Thanks to supporters like you. You know what I'm saying? So Thank you for everybody who holds it down, whether it's financial contributions, whether it's advertising, whether it's watching and sharing, like, subscribe, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on all our social media and help and all that. So we appreciate all of y'all. Even the trolls that come up with stupid comments, y'all just helping the algorithm because y'all helping with the algorithm.
Come on, so be a part of the conversation. Come on and be a part of the conversation. Right. Learn.
Oh, we've had some real trolls. We've had some. They haven't come since you've been on, but we had a few, and I went to shut them down. David said, "No, let them talk. Let them keep commenting and help our algorithm."
Like, well, you know what Meek Mill said: if they ain't hating, you ain't popping. That's what the come out.
Well, again, like the young boys say, pause, because I'm like, yo, there's Meek Mills and some of those words don't go together right now. So it's like, I gotta have fun. Meek Mills is a dope MC. That's the only thing I know. The rest of that stuff I don't know. But yo, definitely thanks to everybody watching out. Again, shout out to my boys, De La. Oh my God, it's an incredible album. Listen to the album. Yo, they are showing, and what Nas is doing is showing that, yo, like rock and roll and all these other formats, there's been a lot of good music coming out from rappers over 50 in the last year or two. Like Slick Rick, Common, like all these like quality joints. And Nas and Premier about to drop a joint. I'm like, that's like a hip hop, like, oh my God. But like, yo, Slick Rick, all these people. Slick got a dope joint, Damon, with Idris Elba, called Victory. Look it up. Idris Elba's chanting on it, doing because they both from Brixton. Yeah. This is kind of dope.
Idris Elba's a good DJ, man. He's a
DJ. I don't know if
whatever music they play out there, you know, that
EDM,
big club.
EDM, the EDM thing. Yeah, he's a big DJ.
Big crowds, bro. Big crowds, man.
So, absolutely, I've seen it.
I'm not surprised.
Him and Slick Rick, that joint is hot. Just Google, go into YouTube and put Idris Elba Slick Rick. It'll come up. And they got a video and everything. You'll see it. It's hot. Check it out. But support all these artists. Go buy. Don't just stream. And I say this as an artist who's about to put out some music and is over 50. Don't just stream. Yo, you support these artists. Buy their shit. You understand what I'm saying? Seriously, buy. Yo, as an artist, I went to their joint and brought two albums. You know what I'm saying? I could have got them for free. You know what I'm saying? But I brought 2 albums just to support the cause. Support these.
I meant to send you money for one of them motherfuckers, man. That's what I forgot. I forgot your ass. That's what I forgot.
Can you share in a group chat when you go to these amazing events? Because I would have wanted the album too.
No, I wouldn't. I was walking through them and put it all over Facebook.
I put it all over Facebook. That was there with
I was at work though.
No, but it was. I put on Facebook for a week. I was like, that I was going to
I
this
didn't
thing.
see that.
No, and I don't know why I forgot. We would start talking about something else, and I forgot to fucking tell you about that.
The thing. So Mass Appeal is has a pop-up shop. I think it's open all month, and I think all of the joints are available. So and it's from 12 noon to 7 every day, 47 Howard Street. So my man from
Where's that at?
between just one street above Canal, between Broadway and Mercer.
Oh, nigga, you know I ain't going down there.
No. No, but what
I ain't driving down there, bro. That's a 3-hour drive. That's a 6-hour day, man.
No. There's a point to that. My man, when I was getting ready to say, my man from that used to live in Long Island, he lived in Baltimore. He was just like, "Oh man, I meant to give you some money." So there's a couple of people that might want to give me some money, and I might have to make a trip down there and go pick up a couple of them. So,
yeah, well, let me know.
So I have to figure if I want to take that trip. And my man was like, "Yo, I'll give you the money." My dude was like, "Yo, I'll give you the money for your train and everything." He's like, "I'll give you the money," because he wanted, dude.
I have to go down there because I need to take all my glasses. Yeah. I need to take all my glasses to the place I bought them from so they could tighten them up. Yeah. And that's down there, and that's down there. But
yeah, this is. But I don't even have no turntable set up no more. But I brought the vinyl just to buy the vinyl. It's a collector's.
No. I mean that's buy the vinyl just to have a collector's.
It's a double. It's a double joint too. A double.
No, that joint is crazy.
Yeah, it's. But listen to the joint and then support it. But shout to my dudes, Paz and Mace, for carrying on. Rest in peace to Dave. And it's a dope album, man. And I just really want to give them a lot of love. And they showed me a lot of love. Shout to Pete Rock. Pete called me. You told me to call you. I'm putting you on the spot. You told me to call you when you heard we go make some new music. So I'm putting you on the spot. Yo, call me, Pete. Yo,
Pete, man. Yo, Pete.
Actually, you need to come. Pete,
you need to come on the show.
People have been asking you to come on the show. People have been asking, and I don't know if you know Brooklyn. They call him Brooklyn Bob Baskerville. Bob told me to tell you that if I speak to you, that he said you need to come on the show. I think he knows you personally, and you're gonna make me call my cousin Warren because you went to school with my cousin Warren. You're gonna make me call my cousin Warren and have him set it up.
Come on the show, man. We got to chop it up.
Yeah, because there's a whole lot.
That's my dude.
But he's doing a lot of great things. I mean, the Common album was incredible, and he did a bunch of songs on the De La album. Him and Premier both did a bunch of songs with Super Dave West and others, and shit is crazy, yo. So I just want to shout that out. So shout out to everybody I met at the joints. Shout out to Renee, who's holding it down for Janae. She's the one surviving member, and she's still holding it down for the group, and she's doing her thing. So I want to, she's trying to hold it down for the group. We had a long conversation, so shout out to her. And everybody, man, everybody who supports the music, follow us at JVC Force on all our social media. Keep up with what we're doing. Got some shit coming. Other than that, yo, I'm out. It's 9:13. We did a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Extra hour.
Bye.
We did the show and we did overtime and then we did the extension. We did all that. So I'm about to go get me some vegetables to eat, and I'm out.
Right, I'm about to go eat. Good night, y'all.
All right, peace out, everybody. Bye.
Rep the movement. Get your official Black Westchester merch today. Hoodies, tees, and more at blackwestchestermerch.shop. Wear your voice, make a statement. Damon K. Jones exposes the lies and challenges the gatekeepers in Black politics in his powerful book, Emotional Politics and Logical Failure. Black America needs fewer emotions and more outcomes. Our communities deserve better. On sale now, get the book or audiobook on Amazon, From the Streets of Westchester to the Heart of Hip Hop. Discover A. J. Woodson's powerful collection. Black Westchester, the origin story. We got our own thing. Hip hop from the 9, 1, 4, and Black Westchester celebrate Black women of Westchester. Available now at blackwestchester.com and on Amazon. Get your copies today. Tolerance is for Cowards by Damon K. Jones. This book is not anti-police. It's pro-community. Discover how the extended policing strategy empowers you to demand real public safety, justice, and accountability from your local police department. Because the Black community deserves good policing. On sale now on Amazon and Audible. Discover Jesus and Divine Black Masculinity by Damon K. Jones. This a bold blueprint to restore faith, manhood, and purpose in Black America. Because the Black community needs good Black men. Available now on Amazon. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and share it with others who need to hear the truth. And for exclusive content and behind-the-scenes access, join the Black Westchester Magazine YouTube membership club today. Your support helps us keep independent Black media strong. Big thank you for the Super Chat support. We appreciate your help in keeping the conversation and independent Black media strong. Black Westchester, got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaign, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent Black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.